So, for those who are joining in, we are just going over the indictment that was handed down by the Southern District of New York, where Mayor Eric Adams has been charged in a 5 count indictment. So we're just reviewing the indictment. We're doing a read right now, and I'm on page, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on page. What page am I on here? There are a lot of pages here. I'm on page 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do about. I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly. It's 57 pages. I want you guys to follow along, and just going to continue with the read. So, the owner and chairman of the Turkish University, businessman who met with Adams in Istanbul in 2015 and began in Brooklyn, New York City in 2018, businessman one who was considering a business venture in Brooklyn and also sought to enhance his own status by befriending Adams, later made illegal contributions to the 2021 campaign. A volunteer at the Brooklyn Borough Hall, the Adams staffer, who then served as Adams' liaison to the Eastern Europe Muslim countries, including Turkey. The Adams staffers subsequently became a paid member of Adams' staff at the Borough Hall and later City Hall. The Adams staffer accompanied Adams on his 2015 travel to Turkey and later at Adams' direction coordinate many of the illegal campaign contributions and proper personal travel benefits relevant to this indictment. So this is the young lady, I believe, she was young. She was under 25. And she got a position in his administration when he became mayor. I think she was like 23 years old. But if this is the case, he traveled with her. She traveled with him to Turkey and then joined him on his administration in 2021. And we're always wondering, like, how did she get that position? In any event, a wealthy Turkish businesswoman, the businesswoman who later gave Adams multiple free or steeply discounted stays in a luxury hotel she owned and organized contributions to the 2021 campaign. In 2016, Adams secretly begins accepting free luxury travel. After Eric Adams, the defendant, first traveled to Turkey in 2015, the Turkish official introduced Adams to the Turkish Airlines general manager in the New York City area. In 2016 and twice in 2017, Adams solicited and accepted free and heavily discounted luxury air travel from the Turkish airline as part of the Turkish officials' efforts to gain influence over Adams on 3 separate trips. In October 2016, Adams and his domestic partner, Adams' partner, traveled to India. Adams' partner purchased economy class tickets for herself and Adams on the Turkish Airlines for approximately $2,286. 2 days before their flight was scheduled to depart, Adams accepted upgrades for himself and his partner by Turkish Airlines to business class at no cost. Business class is the highest class offered by the Turkish Airlines. Had Adams and his partner purchased their business class tickets, the tickets would have cost approximately $15,000. So it went from $2,286 with a nice upgrade, and he saved himself $12,000 and something dollars with that upgrade. Yeah, that should have probably been disclosed on your financial disclosures that is required in New York City. That's a big upgrade. I can't get an upgrade like that from Atlanta to Vegas. Okay. In July and August of 2017, Adams, a close relative of Adams, the Adams relative, and a member of Adams' staff who has served as Adams' liaison to the Asian American communities in New York City, the Adams liaison, traveled to Nice, France, Istanbul, Turkey, Colombo, Sri Lanka, and Beijing, China. Adams accepted free business class tickets from the Turkish Airlines worth more than $35,000 for himself and his companions. In October 2017, Adams and the Adams liaison traveled to Nepal through Istanbul and Beijing. Adams accepted free business tickets from the Turkish Airlines for himself and the Adams liaison for the flights from New York to Istanbul and Istanbul to Beijing, and for the corresponding return flights worth more than $16,000 total. My goodness. How you think you was going to not get caught? Your passports are getting stamped. You're working for the mayor. You're working as the mayor of New York City. How you didn't think that they would be able to follow the money? You see, you got comfortable. You got sloppy. And ultimately, you got busted. So, ladies and gentlemen, does this appear that the man was really greedy, or oh my goodness, man, I was rooting for you. You was the second black mayor in New York, but you get your hand caught in the cookie jar. How are you going to justify all those trips? They have the receipts. How are you going to? And then you traveling with your little shorty. Oh, listen. This is getting deep. Now, is he going to take a plea deal, or he's going to go all the way with this? You want this to play out for him? This is crazy. Man, oh my goodness. And you got on national TV, showboat, taking the key back from Diddy. You took a key from Diddy, and they're taking the key back from you. This is incredible. Greed. This is greed. Here we go. Because the Turkish Airlines provided free travel benefits worth tens of thousands of dollars to Eric Adams, the defendant, he flew the Turkish Airlines even when doing so was otherwise inconvenient. For example, during the July and August 2017 trip, Adams' partner was surprised to learn that Adams was in Turkey when she had understood him to be flying from New York to France. Adams responded in a text message, transferring here. First stop is always Istanbul. When Adams' partner later inquired about planning a trip to Easter Island, Chile, Adams repeatedly asked her whether the Turkish Airlines could be used for their flights, requiring her to call the Turkish airline to confirm that they did not have routes between New York and Chile. So his nose was open. He was so open to the Turkish government and their airlines that he was trying to fly. See if we could get a Turkish flight to Atlanta. He didn't want to pay. Listen, he didn't want to sweat that American Express. So he wanted to use the free card. Like, what the heck are you doing? Wait, first of all, you're supposed to be in France. What are you doing being in Turkey? You're supposed to be in France right now. We knew you to be in France, but you're in Turkey. I had to, go to check out my people. I'm just paraphrasing here. But anyway, Eric Adams, the defendant, also accepted valuable travel and hospitality benefits for himself and his companions during their time in Turkey. For example, during a stay in Istanbul during the July and April 2017 trip, the Adams relative and Adams liaison accepted a heavily discounted stay at the St. Regis Istanbul. Somebody Google the St. Regis Istanbul. Somebody Google that. And let's look at what the pictures look like. Just Google that for me while I'm reading. Arranged by the promoter. The St. Regis Istanbul is owned by the businesswoman who sought to ingratiate herself with Adams. Adams stayed in the Bentley suite. Please Google the Bentley suite at the St. Regis in Istanbul, portions of which are depicted here. So we have pictures. You don't have to Google. They have the exhibit here. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Well, it looks like my bedroom, but hey, look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The Bentley suite. He stayed in the Bentley suite. The Bentley suite. He stayed in the Bentley suite. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. The Bentley suite. That looks sweet. The Bentley suite. Must be nice. Look at that. Look at that whole full bar. This is. Look at this here. Although booking the Bentley suite for 2 nights would have cost approximately $7,000, Adams paid a total of less than $600. Wow. This man got a total of $6,400 discounted for the Bentley suite. But he's saying he's innocent. This man's saying he's innocent. Eric. Anyway, in order to conceal the valuable flight, hotel, and other travel benefits that Eric Adams, the defendant, accepted from foreign nationals seeking influence over him, he did not disclose any of these trips on his annual disclosure forms, despite a legal requirement to do so. So he never even told New York City the benefits he received. They got him there as well. They got him there. You can't get around that. That's required by law. They got you there, sir. If you didn't disclose this, how are you going to get around that? It amazes me when people get in front of the camera to do a press conference to proclaim their innocence, but then there's a paper trail to refute their innocence. It amazes me that he had to know what was contained here in this indictment. Within this indictment, he knew he had to go and file through the COIB what discounts he received. That wasn't done. He should have known this. And this is a former captain of the NYPD. He was the head of the Black Guardians Society, which was an organization comprised of members of NYPD, Black members of the NYPD. Like, this is, the greed is real, ladies and gentlemen. The greed is real. The greed is real, ladies and gentlemen. By law, certain New York City elected officials and candidates for elected office are required to file annual reports with the COIB disclosing their financial information and outside positions and interests, as well as those of their spouses or domestic partners and unemancipated children. The purpose of the annual disclosure law is to provide transparency to ensure that there are no prohibited conflicts of interest between public servants, officials, duties, and their private interests. And this has been the policy in New York City for many years, because there was a time where people would accept graft being bribes, and there was no way to track it. So they wanted to make sure that these officials who held positions where they would be more influenced because of their positions to now have to file these disclosure forms. Well, he essentially didn't file none of them. So he has to explain to a jury of his peers, why wasn't that done? Did someone drop the ball? Is he going to blame someone else? So these are the things that they're going to look at. What normal people would do in his position, which would be other mayors, and who was delegated to do this. And what is this, just an oversight? Again, there's a lot of questions here, and I think he's going to have to answer to this at some point in time, because these are very specific details, very specific amounts that were to be spent. $600 for a $7,000 room is something that you have to disclose. But I won't beat a dead horse. Let's finish reading. At all times relevant to this indictment, Adams was an elected New York City official required to file an annual disclosure form, disclosure forms with the COIB. On his 2016 and 2017 COIB annual disclosure forms, Adams was asked whether he had received any gifts or gifts from the same person, entity, or donor or affiliated donors who had no business dealings with the city other than a relative in the total amount or with a total value of $1,000 or more during the year. Adams answered no. You lied on the form. You answered no, sir. If you answered no, and there are receipts to support that you paid less than what it was costing, then you lied. Adams also answered no to a similar question, asking whether he had received any gifts worth $50 or more from a person, entity, donor, affiliate donor who did have business with New York City. He answered no again. So he had two different opportunities to answer to the affirmative. However, he answered that he did not. That's going to be a major problem for him. That's going to be a major problem for him, and that's a big hurdle he has to overcome. The valuable travel benefits Adams solicited and accepted, including the free business class upgrade for the travel from New York City to India, the free business class tickets for 3 from the New York City to France, Turkey, Sri Lanka, and China, the heavily discounted stay at the Bentley. You know about that beautiful Bentley, that beautiful room that was $7,000, and the free business class tickets for 2 from New York to China through Turkey for each of the 26 and 2017 trips described in paragraphs 12 through 14 each exceeded $1,000 in value, as would be obvious to anyone who, like Adams, had extensive experience traveling overseas. So they said, basically, his passport has been stamped a voluminous amount of times, and he know what the cost of traveling is, and he know what the cost of a room in a moderate room versus a top tier room. He knew this. So I don't know how he's going to get around that. But maybe you guys in the comment section may be able to see a way out for Mayor Adams. But from what I can glean from the representation by the government is that he got his hand caught in the cookie jar and he couldn't get his hand out. And that's just, we're just at page 11. And why is this important? They go into detail by detail by detail because they want to get it right. This is the Southern District of New York who has indicted him. They are following the paper trail. They're following phone communications. They are following his travel to and from. They've also got his shorty. They also got the person he's traveling with. So he's traveling with this young tenderoni out of the country. And I think she's going to get immunity because she's flipping on him. She's going to flip on him like a pancake in the IHOP. Guarantee you she's going to flip on him. They rolled up into a house. This young girl, they rolled into a house with search warrants. So she's talking. And I don't understand why do people get in front of these cameras and say I'm innocent when you have an indictment that has so many details in it. But again, they got to prove it. And how are they going to prove it? By the records. You know, the government doesn't send their agents into these out of the country. They have people, attachés in different parts of the world. They can investigate this stuff easily. They have a consulate in America. So how's he gonna get around this? You guys tell me. Because I don't see a way around this for him right now. I don't see a way around this for him right now. But this is a very Interesting indictment. And but again, he may have, listen, this guy may have a defense. He may have an affirmative defense in this. He may say, listen, it wasn't me. I delegated this to someone else, and they're supposed to have did this. They didn't do it. He's going to have to throw someone under the bus. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he should just negotiate a way out. So, we'll have to see. Here we go. Let me make it a little larger for you guys who want to read along. Read along. We'll read along here. Here we go. Eric Adams, the defendant, also sought to conceal the luxury travel benefits he solicited and accepted from foreign nationals by creating fake paper trails, which members of Adams' staff assisted in at his direction. For example, Adams attempted to create a fake paper trail suggesting he had paid for his 2017 flights on the Turkish Airlines when, in fact, he had not. As Brooklyn Borough president, Adams employed a scheduler, the Adams scheduler, who managed his appointments, meetings, and other official events. Despite her status as New York City employee, the Adams scheduler was used by Adams to perform personal tasks for him, such as collecting rent at his Brooklyn property he owned. Adams also assigned the Adams scheduler to pay various personal expenses for him, after which Adams would reimburse the Adams scheduler in cash. So now he's using the city employee to do his personal stuff. And I would say that happens a lot with people in high positions, but it's probably disclosed and informed by their bosses know. And they report it because they report it. But he's having the scheduler pay, collect rents and doing the extra stuff. Nah, that's not really city business. That's your personal business. In 2017, Adams sent a series of emails to Adams scheduler directing the Adams scheduler to pay for the free 2017 flights he and his companions had already taken on the Turkish airline. But the emails provided inconsistent explanations. In some, Adams suggested that the Adams scheduler should pay by using Adams' credit card, while in others, Adams claimed to have left cash in an envelope for Adams' scheduler to send to the Turkish Airlines. Okay, so that's a nice cover up. Put the cash is on my desk. There's a lot of people in high places just having that kind of cash laid around. So you leave cash in an envelope and have the person just send it to the Turkish Airlines. But you would still have to show a withdrawal of that cash. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot that you got to look at now. If he was moving like this as the borough president, how was he moving as a cop in New York? If he was moving like this as the Brooklyn borough president, how was he moving as a uniformed cop in New York? The rabbit hole goes deep, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think about this. He was a cop for almost 20 years. Do you think he just became corrupt as the borough president? Do you think that this just happened as a borough president? Or do you think he might have been doing some funny business as a New York City cop? I don't know. Again, the federal government hasn't alleged that. They said as a Brooklyn borough president. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot here. There's so much here. And I'm waiting for my colleague to join me. I want to put you guys, we're going to take a short comfort break and we're going to come back. So stand by. Stand by. Five minutes. Stand by. 5 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm waiting for my guest co-host to join in, but she's setting up a camera and she's getting ready. But I see the comment by Magenta Spirit Life Coaching. She says, as a New York City resident, I'm not the least surprised. Well, Magenta, I've lived in New York for many, 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 many years, and I've never seen a mayor indicted while in office. Never, never seen a mayor indicted. So, and there was, there's been corruption in New York. We both know this. And but not a mayor, a sitting mayor. To be a New York City mayor, he has a he or she. Well, haven't had a woman mayor in New York yet, but he has to lead a uh, I think it's like 300,000 employees in New York City. He's the mayor of over 300,000 employees in New York City and 8 million residents. That's a lot, people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. The 5 boroughs. It's big. You got Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, Staten Island, Strong Island. It's a lot of people. I'm gonna drop the link, but I did hear in the start of his press conference, Black Lives Matter, which was kind of shouting over him during the start of, well, actually before he started speaking, and he was saying, "This is not a black thing. This is you personally." So he clearly must have read the indictment. Oh, the bookie down. I'm like, okay, the BX. So he can't play that card. I mean, he was just sloppy with it, like sloppy with it. You can't play that card. And then you bring the clergies there, and I don't think the clergies even read the indictment, because this is serious allegations. You're not above the law. You still have to file the disclosures. You're having your people manufacture documents to support what you're doing wrong. You're using a city employee to do your personal bidding. No, listen. And you're in New York City, and you with this color, and you're the second black mayor in New York City, and you're doing this allegedly. Not the best move. Brother Dinkins, they couldn't get him on none of that. They didn't get Brother Dinkins on none of that. He did his one term and he was out. That's it. He went out on top. You, sir, are not. And you probably should step down. You probably should step down. And Jumaane Williams might be your predecessor. Man, he flew too close to the sun. He was all over the place. He was in Istanbul. Oh my goodness. I don't know how much time he's facing, but I hope that we can have an answer to that. I don't know how much time he's facing. I haven't finished reading the indictment, but my colleague just texted me and told me to continue reading. She's going to be joining us shortly, so she just texted me and said to continue reading. Hold on a second here. Keep reading. Keep going. I'm coming. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, ladies and gentlemen. She's coming. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna keep going. For example, on November 25th, 2017, Adams sent an email to Adams' scheduler saying that with respect to the July trip, meaning the July and August 2027 trip on the Turkish airline, I left you the money for the international airline in an envelope in your top desk drawer. Please send it to them. Given the cost of the international business class tickets for Adams alone, Adams' email suggested that he left at a minimum of well over $10,000 in cash. Wow. He was just playing in their face. But he knew that those text messages was going to come back and bite him. He had to know. by you sending that type of message in the Adams scheduler's desk drawer to send to the Turkish Airlines as payment for flights taken months earlier. He did not do that, as records from the Turkish Airlines confirmed that Adams did not pay the airline in cash or otherwise because the tickets were complimentary. So that they got him there. Because to get him on the stand, they're going to ask him, sir, he's not going to take the stand. But can you explain this money that you directed your scheduler to send to the Turkish government for tickets that were complimentary? So you were just capping, capping. You were capping. You were capping in your text message. So they got him there. In return for the travel benefits the Turkish official provided or arranged in or about 2015 and 2016, Eric Adams, the defendants, granted a political request from the Turkish official. Prior to Adams' 2015 travel to Turkey, which Adams knew and disclosed to the COIB, had been by, among other things, the Turkish consulate, the Turkish Airlines, and the 3 separate municipalities in Turkey. And so, but I'm gonna hold it right there because I just heard someone enter the room. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we're gonna bring in Attorney Ike in the building. What's going on?
What's up, fam?
Boy,
What's going on?
Listen.
What's up?
Listen, reading this indictment.
Yeah.
He's done so much. The paper trail is just
he's an idiot.
It's papering.
He's an idiot. He
stays at the Bentley suite at
the Bentley suite.
It was a $7,000 room. He only paid $600 for it. He never reported it.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking trips all over the place. He's taking trips to places he want to use the Turkish Airlines to take trips to places they don't fly to. like his nose is wide open. And he's taking this young thing with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know how young she is.
Well, do you remember when they searched? She was the first one that got searched.
I don't think that's the girlfriend.
You don't think that's the girlfriend?
I don't think so. I don't think that's the girlfriend. I think he has a. I think he was dating some woman from New Jersey.
Well, we're gonna find out. We're on page 12. I think we're on page 12. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, go! I've been going for it.
Go for it. What's up, fam? All right, okay. I'm gonna be eating my salad, so I'm gonna put me on mute because it's lunchtime for real, y'all.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop. Listen, I'm gonna stop at page 20. You're gonna pick up, okay?
Why I gotta pick up?
I did 20 pages already. Come on.
All right, you gonna stop at 20. All right, so that's 7 pages for me to eat some salad.
Okay,
I'm gonna mute myself while I'm
okay. Yeah, no chewing in the background.
Right.
I'm gonna hit you with my favorite song. You know my favorite song is, right?
Dun, dun, dun. He's so predictable.
She knows him so well. Okay, okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in return for travel benefits, the Turkish official provided or arranged in or about 2015 and 2017, Eric Adams, the defendant, granted a political request from the Turkish official. Prior to Adams' 2015 travel to Turkey, which Adams knew and disclosed to the COIB, had been funded by, among other entities, the Turkish consulate, the Turkish airline, and 3 separate municipalities in Turkey. Adams had maintained a relationship with a Turkish community center in Brooklyn. The community center, in or about 2016, the Turkish official told Adams that the community center was affiliated with a Turkish political movement that was hostile to Turkey's government, and that if Adams wished to continue receiving support from the Turkish government, Adams could no longer associate with the community center. Wow. Adams accepted. He said, see ya, you ain't gonna mess with my paper. Adams began accepting straw contributions and continues to receive luxury travel benefits. Well, I don't think his passport is going to be any good no more. I don't think he's going to be using that passport. I don't think the Turkish government is going to fly him anywhere at this point, but that's just my opinion. By 2018, Eric Adams, the defendant, began raising funds for the 2021 campaign. Adams was closely involved in the details of fundraising, which he regarded as vital to his success. As he texted a close supporter later in the campaign, "You win the race by raising money. Have to raise money. Everything else is fluff." Adams further explained, "I have a $7 million race. I have a clear plan to raise it, and each night we are out to executing that plan." Throughout the 2021 campaign, Adams solicited and knowingly accepted straw donations, including from foreign sources, while continuing to secretly accept free and heavily discounted travel benefits from Turkish official, the promoter, and the airline manager. As part of these efforts, Eric Adams, the defendant, solicited and knowingly accepted straw donations to the 2021 campaign that were facilitated by the Turkish official and the airline manager, among others. Beginning at least as early as April 2018, Adams asked the airline manager to fundraise for the 2021 campaign, and the airline's manager sought to organize a fundraiser. On June 14, 2018, the Turkish official exchanged messages with Adams' staffer asking how much can companies donate. The Adams staffers explained that only individuals could donate to the 2021 campaign. On June 22nd, 2018, Adams attended a fundraiser for the 2021 campaign. The airline manager, among others, organized and attended the event. Following the event, the Turkish official messaged the Adams staffer asking for the list of the participants of the June 22nd meeting. The Adams staffer then sent the Turkish official the list for the 6/22nd, 2018, which included the names of various persons who donated to the 2021 campaign in the preceding days or who donated in the following days, raising in excess of $15,000. A promotional flyer for the June 22nd, 2018 fundraiser listed as one of the fundraiser's host friend of the airline manager who owned an airport transportation business, business-2. Okay. In a series of messages exchanged with Adams' staffer, Businessman 2 stated that he had facilitated a straw donation through an associate. Records from the CWB showed that the associate ultimately donated $3,000 in his own name and described himself as unemployed. Okay, that must be nice. Eric Adams, the defendant, also sought to arrange for his campaigns to receive unlawful contribution from Turkish nationals, which would be routed through U.S.-based straw donors. On June 22nd, 2018, the same day as the fundraising event just described, the Adams staffer and the promoter discussed by text message a possible trip by Adams to Turkey. The promoter stated, in part, fundraising in Turkey is not legal, but I think I can raise money for you for your campaign off the record. That right there. The Adams staffer inquired, how will Adams declare that money here? The promoter responded, he won't declare it, or will make the donation through an American citizen in the U.S., a Turk. I'll give cash to him in Turkey, or I'll send it to an American. He will make a donation to you. The Adams staffer replied, I think we wouldn't get involved in such games. They might cause a big stink later on, but I'll ask anyways. The Adams staff then asked, how much do you think would come from you? The promoter responded, maximum $100,000. The Adams staff wrote, 100K? Do you have a chance to transfer that here? We can't do it while Eric is in Turkey. To which the promoter replied, let's think. After this conversation, the Adams staffer asked Adams whether the Adams staffer should pursue the unlawful foreign contribution offered by the promoter, and the contrary to the Adams staffer's expectations, Adams directed that Adams staffer to pursue the promoter's illegal scheme. So he said, run the money, get the money. That's what your job is, get the money. In November of 2018, businessman 1, the wealthy Turkish national who owned the Turkish University, a for-profit educational conglomerate in Turkey, and whom Adams met there in 2015, visited New York City. Adams and the Adams staffer met with businessman one at Brooklyn Borough Hall. At the close of the meeting, businessman one offered to contribute funds in the 2021 campaign. Although Adams knew that businessman one was a Turkish national who could not lawfully contribute to U.S. elections, Adams directed the Adams staffer to obtain the illegal contributions offered by the businessman one. Following up on this directive, Adams wrote to the Adams staffer that businessman one is ready to help. I don't want his willing to help be wasted. As Adams directed, the Adams
non-spelling ass.
Right, wasted, right. Right, exactly. Not wasted, wasted. As Adams directed, the Adams staffer maintained contact with businessman one through intermediaries, culminating in Adams accepting straw donations of businessman one's money that discussed below. In 2018, Eric Adams, the defendant, also continued to secretly solicit and accept free and heavily discounted luxury travel benefits provided by the Turkish official and the airline's manager. In January 2018, Adams and Adams' partner traveled to Budapest, Hungary through Istanbul. Several months earlier, Adams' partner had purchased 2 economy class tickets on the Turkish airline for approximately $560 each. In December 2017, the Adams staffer, acting at the Adams direction, asked the airline manager to upgrade the tickets to business class, which he did for free. Adams had Adams and Adams' partner purchase their business class tickets. The tickets would have cost more than $14,000 total. Consistent with his prior actions, Adams concealed this free and heavily discounted travel the Turkish airline provided by omitting it from his 2018 COIB disclosure form, despite the requirements to report it.
Oh, that sounds like some shit Fonny did.
We also learned through the indictment that he kept $10,000 in his drawer of to pay an airlines for a complimentary flight, but that's besides it.
They said that never happened though.
They never happened.
It didn't happen.
I'm just saying that he wants people to believe he has that kind of money sitting in the drawer.
Mm.
As the 2021 mayoral election approaches, Adams continues to solicit and accept illegal campaign contributions.
Wait a minute. I think the Adams staffer is the young girl, young woman who was the first
to get the place searched.
Search for, yeah.
Right. But that's the one who traveled.
No, because that person is identified as Adams's partner.
That's right. You're right. That's correct. Okay. In 2019, Adams traveled to Istanbul and solicits foreign contributions. In January 2019, Eric Adams, the defendant, and Adams' partner, traveled to Turkey, Jordan, and Oman with the assistance of the promoter. Because Adams made his travel arrangements through, as I read this, Ike, I'm thinking about these guys. He's supposed to be the mayor of a city. How does he travel so much? Him and Fonny do a lot of traveling.
Ain't that something?
A lot of traveling. Like, it's crazy. Like, okay, so because Adams made his travel arrangement through the promoter and not through the airline manager, the airline manager did not upgrade Adams' economy class tickets on the Turkish Airlines, instead arranging a full upgrade only for Adams' partner. Had Adams' partner purchased her business class ticket, it would have cost at least $7,000. In an effort to monopolize flight travel as a method of gaining influence with Adams, the airline manager observed that difficulty arose in upgrading Adams because the arrangements had been made through others. When exchanging messages about another potential trip later in 2019, the Adams staff requested an upgrade for Adams from the airline manager and explained in part that he learned his lesson last time. We're writing directly to you this time. After 2019 trip, Adams exclusively arranged his flights on the Turkish Airlines through the airline manager, allowing the airline manager, the Turkish official, and the Turkish government to increase their influence over Adams. Yeah,
this is some thirsty shit.
Thirsty. Yo, I'm reading that like, damn, this guy like, oh my goodness. Thirsty. Boy, they got him. They got a paper trail, Ike. They got a serious paper trail on him. During his 2019 trip, Eric Adams, the defendant, solicited and accepted travel benefits from the promoter, the Turkish entrepreneur who, as described above, facilitated Adams' second 2015 trip to Turkey, and in 2018 proposed to Adams via the Adams staff for raising campaign contributions illegally in Turkey. Specifically, Adams solicited and accepted free hotel stays, dinners, and a boat trip, among other things, from the promoter, including a free 2-night stay in the Cosmopolitan Suite of the St. Regis Istanbul, depicted below. Let's see what this looked like.
Ooh, that's nice.
Dang. Wow. The Cosmo Suite. That's some comfy looking sofa. Ooh. Yeah, okay, hold on. Oh, nice. That's a big room.
Nice.
That's a big room. We're gonna pull the color versions now. This is nice. Had Adams paid for a 2-day stay in this luxury suite, the cost would have been approximately $3,000 total. Adams also solicited and accepted from the promoter free transportation, meals, and entertainment, including a car and driver, a boat tour to the Princess Island in the Sea of Marmara, a Turkish bath at a seaside hotel, and at least one meal at a high-end restaurant. That Turkish bath must have been really nice. Eric Adams, the defendant, did not report any of the free travel benefits he received during his 2019 stay in Istanbul on his 2019 COIB disclosure form. Eric Adams, the defendant, also solicited unlawful foreign campaign contributions while in Istanbul in January 2019. During Adams' trip, the promoter arranged for Adams to meet a wealthy Turkish businessman. The Turkish official, through the Adams staffer, discouraged Adams from meeting businessman 3, who was then under suspicion of wrongdoing. Adams did so nevertheless. Greedy. They don't want you, dude. Greedy. During their meeting, Adams and the promoter solicited campaign contributions from businessman 3, who, as a Turkish national, could not lawfully contribute to any U.S. campaign. During the meeting, businessman 3 agreed to contribute $50,000 or more to the 2021 campaign, believing that Adams might one day be the president of the United States and help it to to gain influence with Adams. Boy, he had their nose open. Adam was talking that buku crap.
The president. What?
I think. Listen,
you know what though? This is how this is an indictment on our American politics, that foreign countries believe that a guy like Adams could actually be the president of the United States. That's fucking disgusting. That's where we are, though.
That is disgusting.
That's really where we are.
He gave $50,000 in hopes they become the president. Boy,
we have a felon. We have a convicted felon running for president. Someone who's been held liable for sexual assault running for president.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think I'm just speculating when Biden Harris saw that part, I said, "Get his behind out of here. We're gonna make sure that never happens."
No, he was never on the list.
Never on the list. Never. Not even.
So I'm in and out for him because I'm eating lunch. I'm trying to eat some salad.
Yeah, you got. You're 2 pages away from that salad for me.
All right, I'm trying to get a couple more bites.
I'll read it just a little slow. Okay. To contribute video more, they become the president of the United States, and hoping to gain influence with Adams. In subsequent messages, the promoter and Adams staffer discussed how to funnel businessman 3's planned contributions to the 2021 campaign through U.S. straw donors. Before any of the discussed straw donation could occur, however, businessman 3 legal troubles in Turkey and the United States became more public. Adams declined to meet with the Businessman 3 when Businessman 3 later visited New York, and Businessman 3 did not ultimately contribute to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 3 was not the only wealthy Turkish national from whom Eric Adams, the defendant, sought illegal campaign contributions. Also in January 2019, Adams continued to seek the illegal foreign contributions promised by Businessman 1, the Turkish national who owned the Turkish university, telling Adams' staff in a text message to confirm Businessman 1's continued willingness to support the 2021 campaign. Eric Adams, the defendant, continued to conceal the benefits he received from foreign nationals seeking to gain influence over him. Adams did not report any of the 2019 gifts he received from the airline manager or the promoter on his annual disclosure form. In addition, in March 2019, while exchanging text messages to plan another possible trip to Turkey in which the airline's manager would arrange travel for Adams, the Adams staffer texted Adams to be on the safe side, please delete all messages you send me. Adams responded, always
Oh
do.
my God, they're so dumb.
Yep. Please delete, but Cellbrite will recreate, just pull the messages.
So dumb. And you're a cop. You're a whole ass cop.
He probably do much court testimony because he would have realized that they can pull all that. Anyway, in December 2020, Adams solicits and accepts straw contributions from a New York construction company. In 2020, Adams, the defendant, solicited and received straw donations from a businessman who operated a construction company in the New York City area, Businessman 4. Although Businessman 4 was not part of New York's Turkish community, his contributions were sought and made for similar reasons to the many Turkish nationals and Turkish Americans whom the Turkish official and the promoter induced to make illegal contributions in the 2021 campaign. Businessman 4 was a prominent member of a different ethnic community in New York City, and he was told by Adams' representatives that the straw contributions would increase Businessman 4's influence and the standing of his community with Adams. In December 2024, two volunteers for the 2021 campaign, who later became employees of Adams at City Hall, Adams employee 1 and Adams employee 2, and together the Adams employees asked Businessman 4 to contribute $10,000 to the 2021 campaign. The Adams employees were liaisons to the Businessman 4's community, playing roles similar to the Adams staffer's role in the Turkish community. The Adams employees told Businessman 4, among other things, that donating $10,000 would give Businessman 4 influence with Adams, which would help Businessman 4's business interests and his community when Adams became mayor, and that gaining such influence that with Adams would be more expensive at a later date. They were hustling. Ike, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
Yeah, I'm on your page now.
All right. Where we at?
We are
On B.
B, yes, Businessman 4.
All right. Businessman 4 agreed to contribute and offered to write a $10,000 check from his company's bank account. The Adams employees informed Businessman 4 that he could not donate through his corporate bank account. Businessman 4 then offered to write a $10,000 check from his personal bank account. The Adams employees informed Businessman 4 that he could not donate more than $2,000. The Adams employees then explained that Businessman 4 should instead direct his employees to contribute to the 2021 campaign and then reimburse the employees. Oh, you going too fast. I think you gotta go back up. I don't think yeah. Right. D. Businessman 4 followed the Adams employees' directions. Businessman 4 personally contributed $2,000 to the 2021 campaign and reimbursed 4 of his employees for their $2,000 contributions to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 4 and his employees made these contributions at a fundraiser that Adams personally attended, which was held at Businessman 4's offices. The 2021 campaign requested and received matching funds for these straw donations. And that's the problem, right? Because the matching donations here come from the public coffers.
Right.
That's taxpayers' money. And they
Exactly.
match 8-1, right?
8
So
to
for
1. Yeah.
every dollar that they contribute, the matching campaign will match it. It match $8.
Mhm.
So, all right. After Adams was elected, wait. The 2021 campaign requested and received matching funds for these straw donations. After Adams was elected mayor, Businessman 4 sought to benefit from the influence with Adams that the Adams employees assured Businessman 4 would result from the straw contributions. Among other things, Businessman 4 sought assistance from Adams and Adams employees with arranging events celebrating the national heritage of Businessman 4's ethnic community. And Adams and the Adams employees worked with Businessman 4 to arrange such events with city sponsorship. Businessman 4 also sought and received assistance resolving issues with the New York City Department of Buildings, including from Adams himself. On February 5th, 2023, Businessman 4 sent a text message to Adams saying, among other things, I always supported you, but that Businessman 4 was having a hard time with the DOB, getting a stop work order lifted, and that although Adams' staff had assisted, we reached a certain limit that only you can lift. Adams responded, let me look into this. Approximately a week and a half later, Businessman 4 replied to Adams, Mayor, brother, I want to thank you for your help. DOB issue partially resolved, and they promised to expedite the process. Thank you. You have my continued support.
Like
pro quo, A for play. In May 2021, Adams received straw contributions from another New York construction company as arranged by the Turkish official. Eric Adams, the defendant, accepted support from the Turkish official throughout the 2021 campaign, and the Turkish official repeatedly informed Adams that he was providing such support. When a fundraising effort organized or facilitated by the Turkish official failed to raise the amount of funds that the Turkish official had promised Adams, the Turkish official told Adams and the Adams staffer that he would close the gap by obtaining sufficient funds from other sources to reach the promised amount. In May 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, sought and accepted straw donations from another businessman, Businessman 5, who operated another construction company in the New York area. Businessman 5 is a prominent member of the New York City's Turkish community and made these donations at the behest of the Turkish official. Like, these people are like, donate to who? Eric Adams. All right.
Let me ask you before you read that. So there's this heavy Turkish community in New York.
New York has a heavy community somewhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but my question is like, how did he get embedded with them?
Yeah, and he loves to go to Turkey. So I wonder what's going on.
And I think he only loves to go to Turkey because he's got a hookup with the Turkish airline. You know what I mean? Because he's cheap. And so he's like, where you want to go, baby? We could go anywhere they fly. And that's it. I mean, she wanted to go somewhere else. And he's like, call and see if they go there. Like, no, they don't go there. Well, we can't go there either. I'm not about to be spending my money. This is some brokey shit. This is just oh my God. In January 2021, the Turkish official messaged the Adams staffer asking for a meeting with Adams. The Turkish official and the Adams staffer then exchanged the following messages. Okay, let's do this. I'll be the Adams staffer. You be the Turkish official.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
What will the topic be?
The election. That's what.
Okay.
November 2nd, 2021. The date of the 2021 mayoral election.
His favorite topic.
Turkish community supports to him. What can we do? Let's talk.
Okay. Adams, the Turkish official, the airline manager, the Adams staffer, and the lead fundraiser for the 2021 campaign, the Adams fundraiser, met at a restaurant for dinner on February 4th, on Valentine's Day, on February 14th, 2021. At the dinner, they mean the Adams partner wasn't there on Valentine's Day. At the dinner, the Turkish official committed to support the 2021 campaign. The Turkish official then organized a larger dinner to plan specific donations to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 5, the Turkish official, Adams, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer. You need a fucking flow chart to keep track of these
I know.
folks that are involved. And the Adams staffer attended that dinner, which occurred on April 2nd, 2021. At the dinner, Adams explained the matching funds program and solicited contributions from Businessman 5. The Turkish official told Adams, "We are supporting you." After the April 2nd, 2021 dinner, Businessman 5 worked with the Turkish official, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer, among others, to plan the fundraiser for Adams. Businessman 5 attempted to recruit others in the construction industry and the Turkish community, writing in part, "This may feel like swimming against the current, but unfortunately, this is how things work in this country." What the fuck does that mean? Like, we got to support this guy that we definitely don't want to support, but hey, this is what we got to do. Wow. The day before the scheduled fundraiser, the Turkish official sent Businessman 5 at least one check. And Businessman 5 sent the Turkish official a message confirming that as of now, the checks that reached us are $17,000. On May 7th, 2021, Businessman 5 held a fundraiser for the 2021 campaign at his construction company's offices. Adams, Businessman 5, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer attended. The Turkish official did not attend, but sent his driver to deliver several additional contribution checks. I can't be there, but let me run these checks on over there. Prior to the fundraiser, Businessman 5's construction company, at the direction of Businessman 5, had provided $12.50 per employee to 10 of his employees. Ooh. Each of these employees then contributed that amount to the 2021 campaign, with the exception of one employee who donated in his wife's name. He was like, "Y'all not about to get me. Let me tie her up." And another who donated $1,200 of the funds. So he was like, "For my troubles, I'm gonna keep 50 off top." The Adams staffer sent the Turkish official a list of the contributions collected at the fundraiser. Following the fundraiser, the Turkish official sent Businessman 5 a message asking, "How much is the total?" To which Businessman 5 replied, "I think I got to 22. He just left. The girls, Adams' assistants, were very happy. The Turkish official subsequently asked the Adams staffer to tell Adams, "We will continue supporting you," which the Adams staffer did. The 2021 campaign requested matching funds for 8 of these straw donations that were made in the names of New York City residents, fraudulently obtaining public funds to which the campaign was not entitled. In September 2021, Adams accepts straw contributions from a Turkish national. In 2021, Businessman 1, the Turkish national who owned the Turkish university, as described above, attempted to make good on his earlier commitments to contribute to Eric Adams, the defendant. Adams and Businessman 1 used the promoter and the Adams staffer, among others, to devise and execute a plan to funnel Businessman 1's money to the 2021 campaign, knowing full well that these donations would violate the law against U.S. political campaigns receiving contributions from foreign nationals. On July 9th, 2021, the Adams staffer exchanged messages with Adams about raising funds from the Turkish university, among other sources. Adams explained that he was not doing an in-person fundraiser for less than $25,000. Wow.
Gangster.
On July 11th, 2021, the Adams staffer asked the promoter how much would be donated, explaining in a message that she needed to tell Adams a net number. When the promoter estimated between $35,000 and $50,000, the Adams staffer replied that the promoter earlier had mentioned $200,000. These people are something else. When the promoter explained that the requisite number of straw donors could not be gathered, the Adams staffer offered to help with that aspect of the scheme. The promoter responded, then great. And when the Adams staffer then wrote, "From what I gathered, you'll distribute the money," the promoter responded, "Yes." The Adams staffer, who is definitely a prosecution witness, y'all know that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. The Adams staffer later told Adams that the estimated total amount of the foreign donations would be $45,000. And quietly, y'all, that's short money. Just a short money. In August 2021, the promoter, the Adams staffer, and the president of the Turkish University's American campus, the university president, exchanged messages and voice notes explicitly discussing the plan to funnel businessman one's contribution to the 2021 campaign through the Turkish University's US-based employees. The promoter assured Adams staffer that those employees are US citizens and green card holders. The Adams staffer told Adams about the plan to funnel businessman one's contribution through US-based straw donors, and Adams approved the plan, knowing that businessman one was a Turkish citizen. On August 27th, 2021, the university president messaged to Adams staffer that the Turkish university would donate $20,000 to the 2021 campaign by dividing it amongst our employees in appropriate amounts. The Adams staffer responded that if the donation is not more than $25,000, then Mr. President, referring to Adams, who was then Brooklyn Borough president,
Okay.
does not participate in person. The university president then informed the Adams staffer that in addition to the Turkish university's contribution, others would donate to reach the $25,000 threshold. On August 27, 2021, the university president informed the Adams staffer that the Turkish university would donate only $10,000. Because that meant that Adams would no longer appear at an in-person event, the Adams staffer asked the Adams fundraiser to create an internet link through which the Turkish university straw donors could contribute. In a series of messages with Adams and the Adams staffer, the Adams fundraiser sent the link to the Adams staffer. To remind the Adams staffer of the mechanics of the plan they had discussed, that the foreign donations would be concealed by routing them through US-based straw donors who could lawfully contribute in their own names. Adams wrote to the Adams staffer and the Adams fundraiser, "We can't take any money from people who are not US citizens." The Adams staffer inquired, "What about green card holders?" The Adams fundraiser responded, "Yes, we can," confirming that the promoters' plan to use green card holders as straw donors would work. The Turkish university ultimately made its straw contributions on September 27, 2021, when 3 US-based employees of the Turkish university made $2,000 contributions to the 2021 campaign and were then reimbursed as directed by businessman one and the university president. The university president and another US-based employee of the Turkish university each also made $2,000 contributions from their own funds. The contributions occurred during a period when the 2021 campaign had begun to wind down fundraising and were ultimately refunded by the campaign, but not before Adams submitted a disclosure statement to the CFB that falsely claimed the US-based Turkish university employees were the true donors. Wait, I think I lost my place.
G.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Okay, I thought I did. Moving that shit. On November 2nd, 2021, Adams was declared the winner of the 2021 mayoral election. The next day, businessman one and the promoter exchanged the following messages.
I'm businessman one. Go ahead.
"Good morning. The president is our brother from now on, sir."
Good morning.
May it be auspicious for all of us. We messaged each other.
Are the elections over?
"It was yesterday, sir. Everyone messaged me that he was elected. Congratulations messages. He is most likely going to assign me as a representative, sir. I am going to go and talk to our elders in Ankara about how we can turn this into an advantage for our country's lobby."
That would be nice.
Wow. And that's exactly why foreign donations are prohibited. The promoter also celebrated Adams' prospect with additional people, telling others, including Adams himself, that Adams would soon be president of the United States. Just have to giggle at that. Similarly, the Turkish official wrote to the Adams staffer that given Adams increasing prominence, at this point, the foreign minister of Turkey is personally paying attention to him, and Adams should not bother with his other Turkish benefactors. Oh, he got the big dogs looking.
Got looking.
This is crazy. All right. All told, the 2021 campaign reaped over $10 million in matching funds based on the false certifications that the campaign complied with the law, when in fact Eric Adams, the defendant, knowingly and repeatedly relied on illegal contributions. In 2021, Adams accepts bribes from the Turkish official and intervenes on the Turkish official's behalf with the fire prevention chief. In 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, intervened with the FDNY to permit the Turkish consulate to occupy a skyscraper that had not passed the fire safety inspection in exchange for, among other things, luxury travel benefits provided by the Turkish official and the airline manager. In late June 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, sought luxury travel to Turkey arranged by the Turkish official and the airline manager. When the Adams staffer begun coordinated this travel for Adams at Adams' direction, Adams again attempted to create a false record suggesting that he would pay his own way, when in fact Adams had the Adams staffer coordinate with the airline manager to provide Adams with free and steeply discounted travel benefit. I mean, okay. Adams approved the itinerary, and to create the false impression of payment, the Turkish official Adams and the Adams staffer agreed that Adams would collect invoices from vendors in Turkey regardless of whether he actually paid, and would make some small credit card payments to conceal the fact that he was taking a vacation that was mostly paid for by the Turkish government. On June 22nd, 2021, Adams, through the Adams staffer, requested that the airline manager book flights to Istanbul for Adams. In order to conceal the favorable treatment, the Adams staffer requested that the airline manager charge Adams what would appear to be a real price. All right, I'll be the Adams staffer. How much does he owe? Please let them call me and I will make the payment.
It is very expensive because it is last minute. I am working on a discount.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to charge $50.
No.
That wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work. No, dear. 50. What? Quote a proper price.
How much should I charge?
His every step is being watched right now. 1,000 or so. Let it be somewhat real. We don't want them to say he is flying for free. At the moment, the media's attention is on Eric. You put this in writing, you dumb ass.
We on his ass.
Y'all put this in writing. You know they watching you, and this is what you're texting. Like I don't like. Where's the disconnect? Make it make sense. Adams paid approximately $1,100 each for round-trip economy tickets on the Turkish airline for himself and Adams' partner, which were immediately upgraded to business class at no cost. Had Adams purchased business class tickets on the open market, they would have cost more than $15,000 total. So they're just making up prices for him. Like, all right. At Adams' direction, the Adams staffer also coordinated luxury lodging for Adams and Adams' partner, which would be secretly provided at no cost to Adams, as the Adams staffer and the airline manager discussed. He is also asking where else they can go in Turkey. Do you have any recommendation?
Four Seasons.
It's too expensive.
Why does he care? He is not going to pay. His name will not be on anything either.
Super. The Turkish official also arranged an itinerary for Adams and Adams' partner in Turkey, which, in addition to the stay at the Four Seasons, would include a yacht tour, a 3-day stay at a luxury beach resort, and a car and driver, as well as a domestic flight between Istanbul and the resort. The Adams staffer forwarded details of this itinerary to Adams. To assist Adams in concealing the nature and extent of the travel benefits he was soliciting and accepting, the Turkish official suggested a nominal price of approximately $720, although the true price of this itinerary would in fact have been approximately $8,500 or more. Adams approved the itinerary and the nominal price. On June 26, 2021, it was my birthday. It was. The same day the trip was supposed to start, the Adams staffer informed the Turkish official and the airline manager that Adams was canceling his trip. The Turkish airline refunded Adams' payment for economy class tickets, the only payment Adams had made for the late June 2021 trip to Istanbul. Wait, went too far. At around the time of this cancellation, Eric Adams, the defendant, solicited various travel benefits for the Adams fundraiser, the 2021 campaign's chief fundraiser, who, as noted above, helped coordinate the straw contributions from Businessman Five's construction company 1 month earlier in May 2021. From the Turkish official and the airline manager continuing their efforts to influence Adams, the Turkish official and the airline manager ultimately provided the Adams fundraiser with transportation from the airport, a free hotel, and the free use of a VIP room in the Turkish Airlines business class lounge. This is some petty shit. On June 27th, 2021, when the Adams fundraiser was scheduled to travel to Istanbul, Adams created a message thread between himself, the Adams fundraiser, and the Turkish official. I'm biting my tongue. Adams informed the Turkish official that the Adams fundraiser would be arriving in Istanbul shortly and needed transportation from the airport and a hotel, which the Turkish official promptly arranged. How are you traveling somewhere and you don't do this in advance? Don't you have your hotel booked in advance before you travel? That's crazy. When Adams suggested that Adams would pay for the Adams fundraiser's expensive, that's bullshit. The Turkish official told Adams, Eric, no prob. It was set through Turkish hospitality services. I hope she enjoyed her stay. Adams responded, it was amazing. Thanks for all the coordination and attention. In the same message thread with Adams, the Turkish official also provided the Adams fundraiser with a fake bill for the hotel stay to allow Adams and the Adams fundraiser to create the appearance that the Adams fundraiser had paid for her hotel stay, when in fact, as Adams knew, she had not. On the day the Adams fundraiser was scheduled to depart Istanbul, we know she's a woman. We know it's a woman.
Well, we know that.
Right. Adams created a message thread between himself, the Adams fundraiser, and the airline manager. Adams wrote, Adams fundraiser, this is the airline manager. He will try to help the issue with the... Why didn't I put it in the same format y'all did before? He will try to help the issue with the form. He can see about a hotel or the business class lounge. The airline manager then arranged for the Adams fundraiser, who was otherwise flying on an economy ticket, to have access not only to the Turkish Airlines business lounge, but also to an exclusive private suite inside the lounge, complete with a bed and free food. The airline manager explained, this is our suite for our VIPs, and we want you to feel yourself VIP. At another point in the exchange, Adams wrote, thanks a million, airline manager, my brother, to which the airline manager responded, anytime, brother. Eric Adams, the defendant and the Turkish official, understood that in exchange for the benefits described in paragraphs 34 and 35 and future travel benefits for Adams, Adams was expected to assist the Turkish official in the operation of the Turkish consulate in New York. On July 6, 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, declared victory in his party's mayoral primary. On the morning of July 7, 2021, the airline manager sent Adams the following text message, brother, congratulations. Adams responded, cannot thank you enough. In September 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, agreed to pressure a New York City agency to help the Turkish consulate secure... my mouth is filling up with spit. Secure a temporary certificate of occupancy for a building it owned and operated. It's usually okay. As Brooklyn Borough President, Adams had authority under the New York City Charter to affect the administration of city services within his borough, such as those provided by the FDNY and other city agencies, including through holding public hearings, introducing legislation before the city council, overseeing the coordination of a borough-wide public service complaint program, and consulting with the mayor of the city of New York on the executive capital budget and other budget recommendations. In addition to, or in the course of, the performance of these duties as Brooklyn Borough President, Adams met with the members of the FDNY from time to time. In 2017, construction began on a 36-story building located at 821 United Nations Plaza, New York, New York, and referred to it as the Turkish House, or Turkevi Center, the Turkish House. The Turkish House was designed to serve as, and now serves as, the headquarters of multiple Turkish diplomatic missions, including the Turkish consulate. The cost of the Turkish House was significant and was a topic of political debate in Turkey. I guess that's a picture of the Turkish House.
Manhattan.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay. I'm gonna say that about everything. In in my Tiffany Haddish voice. The Turkish consulate planned to open the Turkish house on September 20th, 2021, so that Turkey's president could formally open the building during his visit for that year's opening of the United Nations General Assembly, which is happening now, which is why there's a gridlock alert in New York. The United Nations General Assembly every year. Ensuring the Turkish house opened and scheduled was a priority for the Turkish official, who was at that time Turkey's consulate general in New York. As of August 31st, 2021, construction on the Turkish house was complete, but the DOB, that's the Department of Buildings, had not yet issued a temporary certificate of occupancy for the building. So that means nobody can go in. Without a TCO, the Turkish house could not open during the Turkish president's impending visit. The DOB had not issued a TCO because the FDNY had not yet conducted an inspection and issued what the FDNY refers to as a letter of defect, which was a prerequisite to the issuance of a TCO for the Turkish house. Issuing a letter of defect is a regular FDNY procedure, which is, in substance, identifies remaining defects in a building's fire safety systems, but also serves to signal that the defects are sufficiently limited that the building can be safely occupied. From on or about August 31st, 2021 through on or about September 9th, various New York City officials and employees, among others, sought to help the Turkish officials obtain a TCO for the Turkish house by lobbying the chief of the FDNY Bureau of Fire Prevention, the fire prevention chief, to provide a letter of defect. The fire prevention chief refused, citing numerous reported fire safety defects, some of which were serious at the Turkish house, and the likelihood that the building would fail any FDNY inspection. On or about September 5th, 2021, the Turkish official began asking Adams, both directly and through the Adams staffer, to intervene with the commissioner of the FDNY commissioner, in order to secure a TCO for the Turkish house. Adams, the Turkish official, and the Adams staffer discussed these requests through phone calls and electronic messages. In a phone call to the Adams staffer, the Turkish official stated that because Turkey had supported Adams, it was now his turn to support Turkey. The Adams staffer relayed this message to Adams, and Adams responded, "I know."
I know you know. I know you know.
It's your turn, buddy. On September 6, 2021, Adams messaged the Adams staffer that he would contact the FDNY commissioner. On September 7th, Adams messaged the Adams staffer that he had scheduled a call with the FDNY commissioner later that day. On September 8th, Adams messaged the FDNY commissioner asking him to call Adams. Until that point, the messages between the FDNY commissioner and Adams had consisted of an August 3rd message from the FDNY commissioner to Adams consisting of requesting to continue serving as the FDNY commissioner after Adams became mayor, and stressing that he was loyal and trustworthy, to which Adams sent a non-committal response. And two, a September 5th, 2021 invitation to a September 11th memorial service from the FDNY commissioner Adams, to which Adams responded that he would try and attend and wish to speak with the FDNY commissioner for a half hour about FDNY. Also on September 8th, 2020, Adams messaged the FDNY commissioner stating in part, they said they needed a letter of defect from FDNY to DOB. They know they have some issues, but according to them, with the letter of DOB, we'll give the TOC. The FDNY commissioner responded, we will get on it tomorrow. Through the Adams staffer, Adams asked the Turkish official, don't worry, I'm on top of this. On September 9th, after a contractor working for the Turkish consulate sent the FDNY a letter describing the status of the Turkish house's fire alarm system, an FDNY employee with responsibility for inspecting the system sent the fire prevention chief the following email. Chief. Yo, Chief. After reviewing the letter, I do not see any way we would be willing to accept it. They have some major issues like central station and fan shutdowns, which would be an automatic violation order. Aside from that, he gave us a list with over 60 defects, and some of them list 5 to 10 problems in each one. FAIU would not go beyond 20 defects without issuing a violation order. In my opinion, this document does not take any liability that we would be comfortable with. I believe it actually tells us this building is not safe to occupy. Feel free to reach out to discuss further. On the morning of September 10th, Adams messaged the FDNY commissioner stating that the Turkish official had understood that the FDNY was going to inspect the Turkish house the previous day, and they really need someone by today if possible. If it is impossible, please let me know, and I will manage their expectation. The FDNY commissioner wrote back that there seems to be a difference of opinion between the inspector and the private alarm engineer responsible for the building, but that the FDNY commissioner was trying to iron it all out, or iron it out. I threw that in there. Was my ad lib.
Sorry.
Shortly after noon on September 10th, Adams messaged the FDNY inspector. They said the higher up, this dude cannot, he either is just dumb or he really just can't spell. Some people have spelling issues, right? But higher up, he means HIGHER, higher ups. They said the higher ups at FDNY did not give the inspector authorization to come. The inspector indicated he needs authority to come today. Today. Okay. The FDNY commission, everybody knows what sick means. Sick means that it was they're reproducing it with the error that it was originally there. Like they're not fixing it. This is how he wrote it.
Right.
The FDNY commissioner responded, working on that as we speak. At approximately 2:06 p.m., Adams messaged Adams staffer that Adams had again spoken with the FDNY commissioner, and he again told me he is on the phone as we speak to try and resolve this. Also on the afternoon of September 10th, the FDNY chief of department summoned the fire prevention chief to a meeting. The chief of department was the chief of department was the FDNY commissioner's direct subordinate and the fire prevention chief superior. The chief of department informed the fire prevention chief in substance that if the FDNY did not assist the Turkish consulate in obtaining a TCL, both the chief of department and the fire prevention chief would lose their jobs. The fire prevention chief then drafted a conditional letter of no objection.
That's
For
crazy.
the Turkish house, the fire prevention chief had never before written a conditional letter of no objection, which was not standard FDNY procedure. Instead, the fire prevention chief wrote this letter, which he later described as unprecedented, to inform the DOB that FDNY did not object to issuing the TCL, provided that the private engineers affirmed that the fire alarm system functioned properly, and assuming the Department of Buildings had inspected, tested, and approved the installed water-based fire suppression system.
Hold it right there. So let's discuss the significance of why this fire commissioner and the fire prevention chief didn't want this building. This building wasn't functionally able to be
because it was
operated.
dangerous.
It was dangerous.
It was dangerous. It has 60 violations.
So for the mayor, and the mayor was surprised of this. He was surprised of this. And then we think about 9/11.
And he didn't care. He didn't care.
He sold the city out. He sold the
exactly. He didn't care
because he was already on the hook. They had him by the nuts.
He's doing whatever they ask. You trying to manage their expectation. Their expectation is you're going to do exactly what they ask you to do. That's their expectation. How are you managing that? By doing what they ask you to do.
And that's what create more red flags for him. And I'm sure someone whistle blew, maybe the fire commissioner or fire.
It could be. Possibly.
Because they don't want to put their name on something like that.
That's right. That's right. Because as soon as something happens in that building, they're going to look at the Department of Buildings like, why was this? Why is there a COC? Why is there a certificate of occupancy for a building that is dangerous?
Why are we writing this unprecedented letter?
Yeah.
We never did this before.
At 2:17 p.m. on September 10th, the FDNY commissioner wrote Adams, letter being drafted now. Everything should be good to go Monday morning. 4 minutes later, Adams messaged the Turkish official. From the commissioner, letter being drafted now. Everything should be good to go Monday morning. The Turkish official responded, "You are great, Eric. We are so happy to hear that. You are a true friend of Turkey." Adams replied, "Yes, even more a true friend of yours. You are my brother. I am here to help." He might be dyslexic. I can't even say it.
So there's some questions being asked. Let's look at some of these questions before we read further.
All right, let's read some questions. Let's engage with the people.
Yes, let's go.
All right, fan. Let's see. Pick one. Question. Tony Africa has a question. Do you think they are doing this to him so they can sentence Trump without starting a race war?
Nah.
I don't see the
correlation. No correlation there. This guy was
correlation.
This guy was taking advantage of his position as the mayor, and he was putting New York City residents at risk.
I think there's a statement out now by is it Kwame Kilpatrick? He's responding to this, and I didn't hear it all, but basically, his position is when you don't go along to get along with the Democrats, they come for you and they make you pay. Because But I mean, if we stop for a second and think about all the gifts that have been accepted by Supreme Court justices, by
Okay.
people who have cases that are in front of the Supreme Court, they
I
don't get
I, I
reprimanded.
I get that, but we as people of color, and I had to say this, we
Clarence
gotta.
Thomas. Clarence Thomas is one of the major flouters of the rules of ethics when it comes to the Supreme Court and the acceptance of gifts. And I know he doesn't know he's black, but he is.
So, do you think any other mayor has been caught in this manner? Oh, with
Kwame Kilpatrick,
no, but he's from a different state. I'm talking
right?
about. I'm talking about in New York City.
New York? No, this is
We,
history.
right. We had never had a sitting mayor
Never
indicted.
had this. No, not sitting. I mean, we had Giuliani indicted after.
Yeah, but that don't count. That don't count.
count.
That don't count.
That does not count. That doesn't count. But no, this is history. This has never happened before. Way to make history.
Let me read some of the other questions. Let me scroll.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Government. Okay, let's see here.
We're gonna have to admit that he's a failed black mayor. I mean, I think there were predictions that he'd be a one-time mayor.
Yeah. So this one right here, this is a statement, but I want to read some questions. But Eric Adams' problem started after he called out Biden-Harris administration regarding the illegal immigrations. I'm gonna post that real quick here. The illegal immigration regarding the illegal immigration and not receiving additional funding help from DC. Well, I think
I don't know if correlation is causation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Well, we know how vindictive, this system is. So I won't put anything past anyone.
Now look at this. This is you believe this set up. The administration knew of all this going back to 2014 and 2021.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that they knew. They had to know. They had to know about this when he was Brooklyn Borough president. You know what I mean? This is not new. Not new at all. So why now? Why now?
Yeah. Do you think he'll plea out? I think he'll plea out.
I don't think he'll plea out. Hell no. I don't think he's going to plea out. I think he's going to take this to trial. Okay,
what would be his defense?
I don't know yet. Let's finish reading the indictment.
No, so far
I don't know what the counts are yet. These are just the facts. We don't know what he's charged with.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them to tell me. I saw what bribery one. Is it bribery?
He has 5 counts, but where did you stop at? Where'd you stop at?
I stopped at where the beginning, where P is. P at 2. No, at the top of the screen. Go back down. P.
I see PP at 221.
217.
217.
Where you see 221 at?
I'm sorry. I was at.
You got it.
No, you got.
I got 4 more pages.
4 more pages. I see you counting.
Okay. All right, I'm counting. At 2:17 p.m. on September 10th, 2021, the FDNY commissioner wrote Adams' letter being drafted. Now everything. Oh, and I wrote that. Everything. I read that already. You are a true friend of Turkey. Adams' reply. You're more friend. I read that already. At 2:31 p.m., the fire prevention chief sent the conditional letter of no objection to the private alarm engineer. 39. After Eric Adams, the defendant, pressured the FDNY to permit a TCO. To permit. Yeah, because the TCO is a permit. So I'm like, is it to permit a TCO to be issued for the Turkish house? The Turkish official continued to fulfill his end of the bargain by providing additional luxury travel benefits to Adams. These benefits, which Adams accepted, were worth more than $14,000. On September 14th, 4 days after Adams caused the FDNY to acquiesce in the TCO, Adams messaged the Adams staffer directing her to secure tickets to Pakistan for a trip from November 30th to December 8th. The Adams staffer relayed the request to the airline manager, stating he'll pay the economy class price, but asking, can we upgrade later? The airline manager replied, of course. This guy don't go nowhere. This airline don't fly. Like, who the fuck is going to vacation in Pakistan? Why? Why you going there, homeboy? I mean,
Something going on there. I think
there's no way. Like, all your vacations are you're just weird. On September 21st, 2021, a Turkish official messaged Adams' staff for seeking a meeting at a particular time between Adams and the Turkish deputy minister. The Turkish official wrote, "This is very important. He, the deputy minister, is the person who makes all the arrangements with one phone call in Turkey. Flight, yacht tour, hotels, rental cars." The meeting did not occur because Adams was scheduled to meet with the former president of the United States at the time requested for the meeting. Wait, well, hold on. The meeting did not occur because Adams was scheduled to meet with a former president of the United States at the time requested for the meeting with the deputy minister.
So who would that president be? 2021. Who would that be?
Barack. Who else? Clinton? Who else he meeting with?
It's 2021. Okay. Could be Clinton. Could be Clinton.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know why who else could it be? That's the only two people I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I should check the chats because sometimes people have better
ideas. It could have been Trump. It could have been Trump in 2021.
Wasn't Trump 2021? Yeah. Okay. He
could have been Trump.
He was former at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm like, when was he? Okay. It could have been Trump.
I think it was Trump.
Okay. After the airline manager and the Adams staff further discussed the price and timing of Adams' tickets, on September 28th, Adams purchased 2 round-trip economy class tickets on the Turkish airline from New York to Pakistan, arriving in Lahore and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
You did right.
And departing from Islamabad for a total price of $1,436 on November 17th. The Adams staffer messaged Adams to confirm that he still intended to travel and that she should therefore have his tickets upgraded to business class. Adams responded, "Okay, do so." On November 18th, the Adams staffer messaged the airline manager requesting the upgrade. The Turkish airline upgraded Adams' ticket to business class at no cost to Adams. On November 25th, 4 days before he was scheduled to depart for Pakistan, Adams asked that his destination be changed to Ghana. The airline manager changed Adams and Adams' partners' tickets to business class flights to Ghana at no cost to Adams. Had Adams paid full price for the business class tickets to Ghana, they would have cost more than $14,000. Oh, he must have found out at the last minute that they go to Ghana. He's like, "Oh, we don't got to go to Pakistan, babe.
We go to Ghana, right?
We could go to Ghana." On November 26th, because you could tell that this is not something that they plan. You can't just switch going to countries like that when you plan. Like, no.
Right.
No, when foreign travel, it takes a lot of thought and planning out. You switching, you just, yeah. On November 26, 2021, the Turkish official informed the Adams staffer that we will take care of the layover in Istanbul, referring to a 9-hour layover in Istanbul during Adams' just scheduled flight from New York to Ghana. The Turkish official then offered various arrangements for Adams, including an escort to meet Adams and Adams' partner at the gate of the Istanbul airport, picking up at the Istanbul airport by luxury vehicle, later specified as a BMW 7 with a driver.
That's the big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah. With a driver, dinner at a high-end restaurant where Adams would meet a Turkish government official, drinks at a separate location, a boat tour of the Bosphorus Strait.
Oh, that's the boss. Let me tell you about the boss. Go ahead, keep on reading. I'll tell you about it.
And return to the airport in time for Adams' business class flight from Istanbul to Ghana. Go ahead. You want to jump in there now? Finish this section.
You got 2 pages.
Okay. Adams selected the airport escort, driver, and dinner, but declined the Bosphorus Strait cruise, explaining that he has done the boat tour a few times. Excuse me, pimpin'. Excuse me, pimpin'. I'm touting the benefits he provided. The Turkish official messaged the Adams staffer, "Don't let the airline manager and others confuse Adams. We are the state." I don't know what the fuck that means.
We are the state. Some pimp stuff they're talking. We are the
state. On November 30th, 2021, an Adams staffer relayed to the Turkish official request by Adams that his excursion into Istanbul received no media attention, including social media. The Turkish official agreed that it would be confidential. Accordingly, the Turkish official confirmed that during Adams' dinner at the Istanbul restaurant, the Turkish official's team did not let anyone take any pictures. This was in stark contrast to the Ghana portion of Adams' trip, for which Adams actively sought and obtained press coverage, and which Adams posted about on his social media account.
Got him.
Big dummy. After Adams completed the layover, the Turkish official and the Adams staffer exchanged the following message. You're the Turkish official.
I'm sorry. Okay. Was Eric satisfied?
It was great. Thank you for everything.
It's okay if he is happy. Is Eric happy then?
He is very happy. He is sending you his thanks. This feels greasy, right? It just feels greasy. Oh God. During and shortly after the travel to Ghana and Istanbul described in the preceding paragraphs, Eric Adams, the defendant, took additional actions for those who provided him travel benefits in exchange for those benefits. In early December 2021, Adams announced the members of his transition committees, which were established to advise the mayor-elect and his team on policies and appointments before he took office. Initially, there were no members of the Turkish community on any of the committees. On December 8th, the Adams staffer sent the airline manager a link to a list of Adams' transition committees and asked the airline manager, "Have you looked at the list?" The airline manager responded, "It would suit me well to be lead or senior advisor." 2 days later, the airline manager sent a message reiterating, "Lead, please. Otherwise, seat number 52 is empty." On the way back, meaning that if the airline manager was not given a position on the transition committee, it would affect Adams' travel benefits from the Turkish airline. He says, seat number 52 in the back, not business class. No more the seat next to the restroom.
Right.
Son, that's the seat.
No, in the middle of the seat next to the restaurant. In the middle seat.
You're not getting the aisle or a window. You're getting 52B. Seat 52B. Yeah. Yo, that's a threat.
That was.
That's I'm feeling myself, and I've done enough for you that if you don't get me back, you're gonna be in the economy class in the back of the plane. Wow. Wow. On December 17th, the Adams staffer sent Adams a list of members of the Turkish community to add to Adams' transition committees, with the airline manager as the top name. Adams informed the Adams staffer that he had sent the list to the persons responsible for organizing his transition committee. Adams sent the list to a staff member with the direction, "Add to transition." The airline manager was subsequently added to Adams' Infrastructure, Climate, and Sustainability Committee Transition Committee. Is that a paid position? I want to know if that is a paid position. On December 23rd, a senior Turkish government official sent the airline manager a series of texts noting the airline manager's membership on Adams' Infrastructure, Climate, and Sustainability Committee and sending applause emojis. The airline manager responded that his membership on the transition committee was in service of not the United States or New York, Turkey. Thank you, brother. We are doing our best to serve our country adequately. Your support gives us strength here. Thank you. You are always there for us, and we're trying to be worthy. Eric Adams, the defendant, continued to conceal the luxury travel benefits he accepted in exchange for taking actions favorable to the Turkish official, the airline manager, and others by once again not reporting these gifts on his 2021 annual disclosure form. In total, from 2016 through 2021, Adams received the following benefits from the Turkish official, the airline manager, the promoter, and others, none of which he reported on annual disclosure forms.
I'll take it
the
from
list.
There.
Got you.
Okay.
Here
we go. Here we go. Do we have any questions before I start?
Let me see. No.
Okay, here's the chart. Here's the breakdown. Year 2026, India via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to India, $12,000. No disclosure. 2017, France, Turkey, China, free business class tickets for 3 on round trip from New York to France, Turkey, and China, heavily discounted stay in Bentley Suite of St. Regis Hotel, 41,000, no disclosure. 2017, China via Turkey, free business class tickets for 2 on round trip from New York to China, 16,000, no disclosure. 2018, Hungary via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to Hungary, 12,000, no disclosure. 2019, Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 1 on flight from New York to Turkey, free stay at the Cosmopolitan Suite at St. Regis, Istanbul, free meals, transportation, and entertainment in Istanbul, 9,000, no disclosure. 2021, Turkey solicited and accepted, but then canceled. Free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to Turkey, free or steeply discounted luxury hotel and resort stays, transportation, entertainment, and meals, 21,000, no disclosure. 2021, Ghana via Turkey, free upgrade to business class for 2 on round trip from New York to Ghana, free meals and transportation during Istanbul layover, 12,000, no disclosure. So I didn't do a running total. We can do a running total later.
I'm sure that they totaled it at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Here we go. There we go. Okay.
They didn't total it. They had to.
We can total it later. Adams continues his corrupt relationship after becoming mayor. After his inauguration, Adams favors those who provided him with illegal benefits over those who fell short. On January 1st, 2022, Eric Adams, the defendant, was inaugurated as mayor of New York City. Adams soon began preparing for his next election, in part by planning to solicit more straw contributions and in part by granting requests by those who supported the 2021 campaign with significant straw donations while denying requests from those who fell short. On January 11, 2022, Adams met with the promoter, the Adams staffer, and others at a high-end New York City restaurant frequented by Adams.
What restaurant is that? Mr. Chow's?
No, that would be, I would say that if it's New York City, I was thought it was Brooklyn Chop House, but you said New York City. I don't know if it's Brooklyn, because he hangs down Brooklyn Chop House a lot. It could be Mr. Chow's.
That's high-end?
Chop House? Yes, unless it was Sardi's, and I don't know if Sardi's still open. But we'll find out. At one point during the meeting, Adams, the promoter, and Adams staffer met separately in a private area. There, the promoter discussed the prior efforts to collect campaign contributions for Adams in Turkey, stated that he could collect more foreign contributions in the future, and indicated that he would be able to raise more money for the 2025 campaign if Adams visited Turkey and met with Turkish business people. Adams welcomed the offer of foreign contributions and told the promoter to coordinate with the Adams staffer to arrange the contributions. On April 21st, 2022, the Turkish official messaged Adams staffer, noting that the American Genocide Remembrance Day was approaching, and repeatedly asked the Adams staffer for assurance that Adams would not make any statement about the Armenian genocide. The Adams staffer confirmed that Adams would not make a statement about the Armenian genocide. Adams did not make such a statement. Wow. On November 21st, 2022, the promoter messaged the Adams staffer that Businessman 1 was visiting New York and asked that Adams meet with Businessman 1. In support of the requested meeting, the promoter stated that the Turkish University gave support a little. Adams declined to meet, stating that they didn't keep their word. Boy, he's shaking people down.
Oh, wow.
The bread wasn't up. The businessman won. The Turkish University had failed to fulfill their commitment to make at least $25,000 in donations to the 2021 campaign. Eric Adams, the defendant, also continued his agreement with the Turkish official to assist in New York City's regulation of the Turkish House in exchange for its free or heavily discounted travel benefits from the Turkish Airlines for Adams and his associates. From on or about July 8th, 2022, Ike, put your phone on mute.
I thought it was.
To on or about July 12th, 2022, the Turkish official exchanged messages with the Adams staffer concerning business class upgrades on the Turkish airline for the international travel by 4 of Adams' close associates. On July 11, 2022, the Turkish official met with Adams' senior advisor and the Adams staffer, among others, at the Turkish house. In a message, the Adams staffer referred to the Turkish official to Adams' senior advisor, telling the Turkish official, ask the senior advisor all your pending problems regarding this building that is the Turkish house, like FDNY approvals. In 2023 and 2024, Adams solicits and accepts straw contributions for the 2025 re-election campaign. In 2023 and 2024, Eric Adams, the defendant, again solicited and knowingly accepted straw and foreign contributions as part of his efforts to raise funds for the 2025 campaign. In 2023, Eric Adams, the defendant, directed his staff to devise a plan for Adams to secretly obtain illegal foreign donations offered by the promoter and then knowingly accepted donations of foreign money through straw donors. Adams then attended a fundraiser where he thanked the true donors who he knew to be wealthy foreign nationals. In the summer of 2023, now, before I go there, he knew they were foreign nationals and they shouldn't have been donating. So that they try to emphasize that. In the summer of 2023, the promoter informed Adams staffer that he could secure contributions to the 2025 campaign from Turkish nationals if Adams would attend an event with the foreign donors. The Adams staffers brought the opportunity to Adams, who directed the Adams staffer to work with the Adams fundraiser to devise a plan to obtain the illegal donations. The Adams fundraiser suggested that the true foreign donors make their contributions through straw donors considerably in advance of the event at which Adams would meet the true foreign donors so that the event did not appear connected to the contributions. As the Adams staffer explained to the Adams fundraiser in a text message regarding the planned attendees, Mayor knows most of them from Turkey, the people who has business here as well. The Adams staffer and the promoter agreed to execute this plan, which Adams approved. Girl, he's smacking in the background. The Adams fundraiser, the promoter, and Adams staffer scheduled an event for September 20th, 2023 in a private room at a Manhattan hotel. To conceal the event's true purpose, the promoter provided a PowerPoint presentation billing the event as a dinner hosted by international sustainability leaders with the subject sustainable destinations plural, and as an attendance price of $5,000. The event was not publicized or listed on Adams' public calendar. The Adams fundraiser entered the event on Adams' private calendar as a fundraiser for Eric Adams 2025, with the host listed as the promoter, a goal of $25K, and the note total submitted before the event $22,800. Prior to the scheduled fundraiser, the promoter collected the payments of $5,000 or more from the attendees, many of whom were foreign nationals. The promoter then used a portion of the attendees' payments to make straw donations to the 2025 campaign by sending cash from the foreign nationals donors to the Adams staffer. The Adams staffer then distributed $2,100 in cash to at least 3 straw donors who each made an online $2,100 contribution to the 2025 campaign. On September 20th, 2023, the promoter hosted the fundraiser, which the Adams fundraiser, the Adams staffer, and the foreign nationals who had contributed to the 2025 campaign via straw donors attended. In one video of the event, the promoter introduced a foreign national attendee to Adams, explaining that the attendee owned a business and lived in London and Istanbul. Adams proceeded to thank the attendee. But they got the videos. On October 9th, 2023, Eric Adams, the defendant, attended a fundraiser at which attendees agreed to make and Adams agreed to accept straw donations. The fundraiser was organized by a Turkish American public relations representative, the PR representative, and the publisher of a magazine targeted to Turkish Americans, the publisher, both of whom were associates of the Turkish official, and hosted by the owner of a logistics company, businessman 6. We got another businessman who is part of the Turkish American community in the New York City area. From late August 2023 through early September 2023, the Adams staffer and the Adams fundraiser discussed the particulars of the fundraiser, including the creation of a unique fundraising link for the event, which the Adams fundraiser ultimately created. On September 12, 2023, the PR representative and the publisher instructed Businessman 6 on how to make straw donations to the 2025 campaign using a system under which the 2025 campaign routed foreign donations through the U.S. citizens to make it appear that the contributions came from a lawful source. But beginning at least as early as September 29, 2023, the Adams staffer sent the Adams fundraiser updates regarding how much money was being raised in connection with the planned fundraiser. On October 8, 2023, the day before the event, the Adams staffer and the Adams fundraiser exchanged the following messages. Okay, I think we're doing messages now, Ike. Hold on. Here we go. Adams fundraiser. Okay, are they going to make the limit?
Yes, they said, as agreed, we will collect the $25,000.
Okay, perfect. Also on October 23rd, the airline manager sent the Turkish official the unique fundraising link for the event. At the October 9th, 2023 fundraiser, Businessman 6 told Adams that the Businessman 6 owned a large corporation in which to contribute significant amounts of money to the 2025 campaign. Adams told the Businessman 6 to coordinate with the Adams staffer. You know, the Adams staffer
listen, because everything is the Adams staffer.
Right.
That's his defense. His defense is going to be, I never told her to accept those funds. I didn't have anything to do with that. In fact, I told her the opposite. Or him. We don't know if the staffer is a male or female, right? Because I don't want to tell these people to their faces that they can't donate to me, because that might sour the relationship. So I have her do it. Or have him do it. And what he does beyond that is unbeknownst to me. So he's building in his plausible deniability. You saw in the one text that he sent, the text was just remember that, you know, they can't donate to the campaign. So he knows that's a plant. So let me plant this text so it appears that I am instructing her that these donations cannot be accepted by the campaign. And so if they are later accepted, I have plausible deniability that I had nothing to do with that. That's going to be part of his defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a weak one because he benefited from those hotels and all that other
upgrades and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he's going to say I didn't think anything was wrong with that, right? Because he had no intention. It wasn't a quid pro quo. It wasn't a quid pro quo, even though it turned out to be. Yeah.
Okay, so where are we at? At the October 9th, 2023 fundraiser, Businessman 6 told Adams that Businessman 6 owned the large corporation and wished to contribute significant amounts of money to the 2025 campaign. Adams told the businessman to coordinate with the Adams staffer. Businessman 6 then explained to Adams staffer that his company employed many drivers and that the Businessman 6 would contribute to the 25 campaign through those employees. Adams scheduled a dinner with Businessman 6 for early November, which was canceled after the federal investigation into Adams' conduct became public. They pumped the brakes.
But wait, who pumped the brakes? See, the way they wrote that is so surreptitious. They say which was canceled. They don't say who canceled it. It doesn't say whether Businessman 6 canceled it because of the investigation became public, or if Adams canceled it because the investigation became public.
It does sound like Businessman 6 canceled it.
It could be. Could be. It's not clear.
Right.
It's not clear. And this is why you shouldn't write in passive voice, boys and girls. Okay, guys.
Adams and his co-conspirators attempt to conceal their criminal conduct.
Wait, someone said the staffer is going to turn government. The staffer already has. That's why we have this indictment.
Right. The staffer
we got here.
He's turned.
That's how we got here. Shit.
Throughout the throughout the commission of the conduct described in paragraph 1 through 46 of this indictment, Eric Adams, the defendant, and his agents and co-conspirators sought to conceal their wrongful conduct from scrutiny by the public and laws enforcement. As described above, Adams repeatedly did not disclose the free and heavily discounted travel benefits he accepted from Turkish officials. The promoter and the airline manager created a false paper trail to suggest he had paid for this travel when in fact he had not, assured the Adams staffer that he had a practice of deleting all his messages with the Adams staffer and directed the Adams staffer to ensure that his activities in Turkish in 2021 were shielded from public view. In addition, the purpose of conducting the straw donation discussed throughout this indictment was to allow Adams to benefit from illegal campaign contributions by concealing their true source. Okay, Eric Adams, the defendant, and his co-conspirators and agents continued their efforts to defeat scrutiny of their criminal conduct after the federal investigation into those crimes became known to them. On November 2nd, 2023, special agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, executed search warrants at, among other locations, the residence of the Adams fundraiser, the businessman 5, and the Adams staffer. Each took actions to conceal the criminal conduct they had committed with Adams. After learning the FBI agents had arrived at her residence, and that's the girl we were talking about, but before answering their repeated knocks at the door, the Adams fundraiser called Adams 5 times, even though the agents had not yet given the Adams fundraiser any indication of the purpose for their visit. When the Adams fundraiser then spoke with the FBI agents, she agreed to discuss many subjects, but refused to say who had paid for her 2021 travel to Turkey. Okay, I told you she went to Turkey, Ike. I said she traveled.
Oh, but you said she was the girlfriend.
Okay, why was she?
Well, we know she went to Turkey. That's up there. That's in one of the paragraphs. That's not the staffer.
Okay, so why was she in Turkey? Let's find out why she was in Turkey.
She was fundraising.
Oh, because she was in. Okay,
a fundraiser.
Okay. As the FBI agents departed the Adams fundraiser's residence, Adams attempted to call the Adams fundraiser's phone. On the morning that the FBI agents executed their search, Adams had flown to Washington, D.C. for a publicized official meeting, but upon learning about the search, Adams canceled the meeting and immediately returned to New York City.
Yeah,
because nobody want to be, no one want him at the meeting knowing the feds is down his back.
Gotta go home.
We're not talking to you. We don't want you around us. Businessman 5 also agreed to speak with FBI agents and acknowledged that he and his employees had contributed to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 5 further acknowledged that, Businessman 5 was the one they always had an issue with, right? They warned about Businessman 5, right? That was the one.
Was it one? Was it 5? I thought it was 6.
No, it was 5. 5 is the one.
I said you need a chart. You need a chart. And I haven't been charting it.
Yeah, Businessman 5 was the hot boy. Businessman 5 further acknowledged that he had spoken with the Turkish official about his construction. Yeah, but it wasn't him. Construction company's fundraiser for the 2021 campaign. But Businessman 5 lied in order to conceal the straw donations he orchestrated, falsely denying that he caused his construction company to reimburse his employees for their contributions, and that he knew why the company had issued identical checks to 10 employees for the amount of their contributions shortly before the fundraiser. The Adams staffer also agreed to speak with FBI agents and falsely denied the criminal conduct of herself and Adams, among others. So those are charges right there. Lying to a federal agent.
That's right.
They got him. At one point during her voluntary interview, and she did a voluntary interview, the Adams staffer.
I bet you Adams told her to.
Of course he did. You can do this. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We got to make it look like we ain't hiding nothing. So go ahead.
The Adams staff excused herself to a bathroom and while there deleted the encrypted messages application she had used to communicate with Adams.
Wow.
Damn, so how do you know she
Wow.
went in the bathroom and did this?
Wow.
The
Because they
promoter,
probably got her phone.
yeah,
And you can see
yeah,
when shit was done.
right, yeah.
And they know when they met with her. Dumbass.
The promoter, the Turkish official, the airline's manager, and others. On November 6, 2023,
So what was
FBI
that? WhatsApp? She deleted WhatsApp?
or Signal, one of them, Signal probably.
Or Signal.
On November 6, 2023, FBI agents executed a search warrant for the electronic devices used by Eric Adams, the defendant. Although Adams was carrying several electronic devices, including 2 cell phones, he was not carrying his personal cell phone, which is the device he used to communicate about the conduct described in the indictment. When
Oh, he
Adams,
used his personal cell phone.
right. But they when they moved up when they I think they caught him in the street somewhere and they grabbed his phone.
Yeah, I remember that. But that's what I'm saying. Why would you be using your personal cell phone to conduct business? Unless you were trying to hide it.
Right. And that's their point. When Adams produced his personal cell phone the next day in response to a subpoena, it was locked such that the device required a password to open. Adams claimed that after he learned about the investigation into the conduct, he changed the password on November 5th, 2024, and increased the complexity of his password from 4 digits to 6. Adams had done this. He claimed to
Wait a
prevent.
minute, somebody said it's a lot of static.
It's a lot of static?
That's
Okay,
what I'm seeing in the. I don't know if it's me or you. I don't hear it.
Okay.
Are you hearing it?
Rick DeBella says a lot of static. Rick?
I turn my game down.
Yeah, turn your game, put yours on mute while I'm reading and then come in.
Yeah, I do, but I just don't know it.
So they say they don't hear it. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if my sound is good. Put a 1 in the chat. Just type 1. Type 1. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. So the concealing, when she went to the bathroom and deleted that's obstruction. That's obstruction of justice. Ike, right? Come back in. Okay, 1 is good. Okay.
Yes, that is.
Okay. So she got lying to federal agents and obstruction. Oh, she's saying it. Okay, here we go. Where do we stop at? Okay, so Adams had done this. He claimed to prevent or intentionally deleting the contents of his phone because, according to Adams, he wished to preserve the contents of his phone due to the investigation. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Let me scroll this thing down. It's scrolling. It's not scrolling. Hold on. Okay. But Adams further claimed he had forgotten the password he had just set and thus was unable to provide the FBI with a password that would unlock the phone. As a federal investigation into the criminal conduct of Eric Adams, the defendant continued, so did efforts to frustrate the investigation. On June 13, 2024, FBI agents interviewed businessman 4 and the 4 employees of his company through whom businessman 4 had made straw donations to the 2021 campaign, most of whom denied making straw contributions. Businessman 4 then contacted Adams employee 1, who, as discussed above, had asked businessman 4 to make the straw donations to the 2021 campaign. Later that day, Adams employee 1 visited businessman 4 at his company's offices. Adams employee 1 stated that he had just met with Adams at City Hall. Adams employee 1 proceeded to discuss with businessman 4 what had happened with the FBI and encouraged businessman 4 to lie to the federal investigators. Adams employee 1 then asked to address businessman 4's 4 employees who had made straw donations to the 2021 campaign and encouraged them to lie to the federal investigators as well. What an idiot. So you got 4 witnesses. They're telling you now going to testify that you told us the lie. What an idiot.
Practice your Panchanjali. That's a Godfather reference.
Right.
This Godfather reference.
Oh my God. How young are these people? Adams employee 1 then took photographs of the subpoenas that had been issued to businessman 4 to send to Adams. On the following day, businessman 4 met again with Adams employee 1. Adams employee 1 told businessman 4 that he had met with Adams at City Hall earlier that day and that they had left their cell phones outside the room in which they met so that it would be safe to talk.
Oh God. Here we go with the count. See, that's what I was saying. We don't even know what they charge you with yet.
We're coming up on it now. Here we go. Here we go. Adams employee 1 explained to businessman 4 that although Adams was upset that law enforcement had approached businessman 4, Adams believed that businessman 4 would not cooperate with law enforcement. Statutory allegations. Here we go. Counsel, you would like to do the honors on this?
Sure. Count 1. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, and to receive campaign contributions by foreign nationals. The grand jury charges. The allegations contained in paragraph 1 to 49 of this indictment are repeated and realleged as if set forth fully herein. From at least in or about 2015 through at least in or about 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Eric Adams, the defendant, and others known and unknown, willfully and knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to commit offenses against the United States, to wit, wire fraud in violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1343, soliciting, accepting, and receiving a campaign contribution by a foreign national in violation of Title 52 U.S. Code Section 3012, subsection A2, and bribery in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 666. That's the devil section. That's the devil section. Right? It was a part and object of the conspiracy that Eric Adams, the defendant, and others known and unknown, knowingly having devised and intended to devise a scheme, an artifice to defraud and for obtaining money and property by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, would and did transmit and cause to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, television communication, in interstate and foreign commerce, writings, signs, signals, pictures, and sounds for the purpose of executing such scheme and artifice in violation of Title 18 U.S.C. 1343. It was further a part and object of the conspiracy that Eric Adams, the defendant, and others known and unknown would and did knowingly and willfully solicit, accept, and receive directly and indirectly a contribution and donation from a foreign national and express and imply promises to make a contribution and donation in connection with the local election, to wit, mayoral elections in the city of New York, aggregating $25,000 or more in a calendar year in violation of Title 52 U.S.C. 3121A2 and 30101 1AI. It was further a part and object of the conspiracy that Eric Adams, the defendant, being agent of local government, to wit, the city of New York, which in a 1-year period received benefits in excess of $10,000 under a federal program involving a grant, contract, subsidy, loan, guarantee, insurance, and other form of federal assistance, corruptly solicited and demanded for the benefit of a person and accepted and agreed to accept a thing of value from a person intending to be influenced and reported in connection with business, a transaction, and a series of transactions of the city of New York involving a thing of value of $5,000 or more in violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 666. That's the bribery. Overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy and to the effect the illegal objects thereof. The following overt acts, among others, were committed by Eric Adams, the defendant, in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. In 2016, Adams accepted free upgrades to business class for himself and a companion on round-trip flights from New York to India. In July 2017, Adams accepted free business tickets for himself and 2 companions on round-trip flights from New York to France, Turkey, Sri Lanka, and China. In July 2017, Adams accepted a steeply discounted stay at the Bentley Suite of the St. Regis in Istanbul. In October 2017, Adams accepted the free business tickets for himself and a companion on round-trip flights from New York to China. In January 2018, Adams accepted free upgrades to business class for himself and a companion on round-trip flights from New York to Hungary. In November 2018, Adams directed the Adams staffer to arrange to accept contributions of foreign funds from Businessman 1. In January 2019, Adams accepted a free stay at the Cosmopolitan Suite of the luxury hotel in Istanbul. In January 2019, Adams met with Businessman 3 in Istanbul, where Adams agreed to accept campaign contributions of foreign money. In December 2020, the Adams employees solicited straw donations to Adams' campaign from Businessman 4. In May 2021, Adams attended a fundraiser organized by the Turkish official, among others, where Adams accepted straw donations from Businessman 5. In May 2021, Adams submitted a false disclosure statement to the CFB that concealed the straw donations from Businessman 5. In June 2021, Adams solicited steeply discounted business class tickets, stays at luxury hotels and luxury resort, and transportation, including a domestic flight and a car and driver. In June 2021, Adams solicited a free hotel stay and free use of a VIP room in a business class lounge of the Turkish Airlines for the Adams fundraiser. In or about August 2021, Adams directed the Adams staffer to obtain contributions of foreign funds from the Turkish University. In September 21, Adams caused the FDNY to issue a letter acquiescing in the occupation of the Turkish house. I don't like the way they wrote that. In September 2021, Adams solicited and accepted steeply discounted business class tickets for himself and a companion on round-trip flights from New York to Pakistan. I thought they went to Ghana. In October 2021, Adams submitted a false disclosure statement to the CFB that concealed the straw donations from the Turkish University. In November 2021, Adams solicited and accepted a free car and driver and meal at a luxury restaurant for himself and a companion in Istanbul. In January 2022, Adams attended a meeting with the promoter, among others, where he agreed to accept contributions of foreign money to the 2025 campaign. In July 22, Adams' senior advisor and the Adams staffer met the Turkish official at the Turkish house, and the Adams staffer identified Adams' senior official as the point of contact for the Turkish officials' pending problems regarding the Turkish house, such as the FDNY approvals. In July 2022, the Turkish official arranged to provide business class upgrades on the Turkish airline for 4 of Adams' close associates. In September 23, Adams attended a fundraiser where he thanked foreign donors for contribution of foreign money to the 2025 campaign made through straw donors.
You want to take the rest?
Go ahead.
In October 2023, Adams attended a fundraiser where he directed the Adams staffer to coordinate the receipt of straw donations from Businessman 6. Title 18, United States Code, Section 371, Count 2, wire fraud. The grand jury further charges the allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 1 to 49 of the indictment are repeated and realleged as if set forth fully herein. From at least in or about 2018 through the at least in or about 2024, the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Eric Adams, the defendant, knowingly have devised and intending to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and for obtaining money and property by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises transmitted and caused to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, and television communications in interstate and foreign commerce, writing signs, signals, pictures, and sounds for the purpose of executing such scheme and artifice, to wit, Adams participated in a scheme to fraudulently obtain matching funds for the Adams campaign by falsely claiming that contributions qualified for matching funds when, in fact, those contributions did not. Title 18, United States Code, Section 1343 and 2, Count 3, solicitation of contributions by a foreign national. The grand jury further charges 58. The allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 49 of the indictment are repeated and realleged as if set forth fully herein. in or about 2021 in the Southern District of New York, and elsewhere, Eric Adams, the defendant knowingly and willingly solicited, accepted, and received, and aided and abetted, and willfully caused the solicitation, acceptance, and receipt of a contribution and donation from a foreign national, and express and implied promises to make a contribution and donation in connection with a local election, to wit, mayoral elections in the city of New York, aggregating $25,000 and more in a calendar year. Title 52, United States Code, Section 30121 and 30109, D1A, and Title 18, United States Code, Section 2, Count 4, solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national. The grand jury further charges the allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 49 of this indictment are repeated and realleged as set forth fully herein. In or about 2023, the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Eric Adams, the defendant, knowingly and willingly solicited, accepted, and received, and aided and abetted, and willfully caused the solicitation, acceptance, and receipt of a contribution and donation from a foreign national, and express and implied promises to make a contribution and donation in connection with a local election, to wit, mayoral elections in the city of New York, aggregating 25,000 and more in a calendar year. Title 52, United States Code, Section 30121 and 30109, D1A, and Title 18, United States Code, Section 2, Count 5, bribery. The grand jury further charges the allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 49 of this indictment are repeated and realleged as it set forth fully herein. From at least in and about the summer of 2021 through at least in or about the summer of 2022 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Eric Adams, the defendant, being an agent of a local government, to wit, the city of New York, which in a 1-year period received benefits in excess of $10,000 and under a federal program involving a grant, contract, subsidy, loan, guarantee, insurance, and other form of federal assistance, corruptly solicited and demanded for the benefit of a person, and accepted and agreed and accept a thing of value from a person intending to be influenced and rewarded in the connection with a business, a transaction, a series of transactions of the city of New York involving a thing of value of $5,000 or more, to wit, Adams solicited and accepted free and heavily discounted luxury travel benefits from the Turkish official and others in exchange for intending to be influenced in the connection with the city of New York regarding of the Turkish house located at 821 United Nations Plaza, New York, New York. Is that near the 40s, 45th, 44th?
30s.
30s, okay. Title 18, United States Code, Section 666A1B and 2. Forfeiture allegations. Oh, I can take this one. Take the forfeiture.
As a result of committing one or more of the offenses alleged in counts 1, 2, and 5 of this indictment, Eric Adams, the defendant, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 U.S. Code 981 and Title 28 U.S. Code 2461 any and all property, real and personal, that constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the commission of said offenses, including but not limited to a sum of money in United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offenses. Substitute asset provision. This is just in case you try to dissipate your assets. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any action or omission of the defendant, A, cannot be located. We saw this in Puffy's indictment as well. Cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third person, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. It is the intent of the United States pursuant to Title 21 U.S.C. Section 853P and Title 28 U.S.C. Section 2461C to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the above forfeitable property.
Mm.
Signed, Damian.
Damian
Your boy
William,
Damian.
Da-
Hey.
Williams.
Yeah.
Dang, dang,
Yo,
man.
that's 57 pages. That was longer than a Puffy
Yo, that
indictment.
was longer than
Like
Puffs.
3 times as long as the Puffy indictment. How is that? That's crazy.
They
Well,
want
that's
that thing to stick. Ike, talk to the people 1 second. My door alarm's going off. Stand by.
okay. All right. So, I know wire fraud carries up to 20 years. I don't know if there's a mandatory minimum. I don't think there is, but I would have to look it up. It's been a minute. But it looks like he's in a bit of a trouble. He's in a bit of trouble, right? And so it looks like his only defense, and you guys tell me what you think his defense will be, but is I didn't authorize those things. I didn't authorize. I didn't know. That's not what I was speaking about. What is his defense? How is he going to spin this? Right? Because he has to have a defense. And why am I so shiny? Why is my forehead so shiny? What the hell? At least it's not bumpy. But like, I think it's just the lighting. I can't do nothing about it. My forehead is extra shiny right now. trying to turn the camera. No, that don't help. No. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. As a defense attorney and former prosecutor, how strong is the government's case to you?
It seems strong because it seems like it's a paper case. You know, these are paper cases where we are going to get all of your documentation, and these are the things that you said in your own words. So we are going to use your own words and the words of your co-conspirators, because in the federal court, right, oftentimes statements of co-conspirators, those statements are admissible against the defendant. So every statement that is made by anyone that is called Adam's staffer, Adam's fundraiser, all of those statements, because these people are identified as co-conspirators, will be introduced against him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Businessman 5 is going to be a major problem for him. I think the fundraiser is going to be a major problem for him.
I think the staffer is the major problem for him.
Absolutely.
Because she's the liaison, right? She's the liaison. It seems to be the primary liaison for when this even started, right? Because initially she says, I don't think that we would be interested in those games. Remember that part of the indictment? But I'll ask anyway. Like what?
And he wasn't doing no walkthroughs less than 25,000.
Wait a minute. Audio issues came out and re-entered the live. Is it me? Is it me? Is it my audio, guys? Tell me.
Your audio sounds fine to me. How's my audio?
Your audio sounds fine to me as well. I don't know.
So,
he hired Alex Spiro as his defense attorney. Well, that's the first smart thing I've heard him do.
So
it's hire competent counsel.
Okay, so what's Alex Spiro's background?
He's one of the more experienced criminal defense attorneys here in New York. I don't know him personally, but I've seen him around. Now, I don't know what his courtroom prowess is. Okay. Like, I have not seen him in court. I've not seen him in action, but I know he does handle a lot of high-profile cases. So he should have the experience. But again, I don't know. And federal trial experience is an anomaly. A lot of attorneys don't have federal trial experience because a lot of trials in federal court don't go to trial. Right? The conviction rate is so high. Often these cases plead out. Right? So it's, it remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that he will be detained. Not on these charges, not these allegations. Right? I don't believe that these particular charges carry a presumption of detention. And so I don't think they are going to seek detention for him. So he won't be at the Metropolitan Detention House with Diddy. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm sure he will get a bail. He said he's not stepping down. Okay.
So, and let's talk about that, because people are going to look at his indictment and they're going to look at the indictment of the pastor, his good friend, the bling preacher.
Oh, yeah. What's Whitehead? Is it
Yeah,
Whitehead? Some,
Whitehead,
white.
yeah, Bishop Whitehead, which
Yeah,
he had nothing to offer in this indictment. It was not
right.
even. Um, what kind of time is he facing?
I
That
think wire fraud is 20. I'm almost sure because I've had wire fraud. It's up to 20. Up to 20. Let's see. I think we can look right now. Mm-mm.
wire fraud's up to 20 years.
Yes. See, convicted person can face up to 20 years in federal prison, but the sentence can be increased up to 30 years if the crime involves a financial institution or a major disaster. So that doesn't qualify here. I don't think. But yeah, up to 20 years.
Well, we do know, if you recall, the former police commissioner did federal time. Couric,
Bernard
Bernard
Kerrick.
Couric, he did
Yes.
term.
Yes, he did.
I think he did 5 years.
I don't remember how much he did, but it didn't really sully him much because he's still
Well,
out and about. And
he got a pardon, presidential pardon. So all that was wiped
he
away.
did.
Yeah,
Who pardoned him?
Trump did.
Trump pardoned him. I
Yes.
did not know that. I was
Yeah.
not aware.
Pardon.
Wow.
He came out clean.
Wow.
He got his name dragged majorly.
Right. Trump could pardon everybody. Trump could pardon Diddy. Trump could pardon Eric Adams. I mean, he pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick, right?
I mean, when is that conversation going to happen?
Well, he got to get elected first.
He got to get elected.
He got to get elected first.
He got to send those signals out to the people who support. I guess, I don't know, the
You
New
think
York. I mean,
think they're gonna do some quid pro quo for votes? Like, hey, let's get the Diddy camp to support Trump, and if Trump gets in office, he will pardon him.
How ironic! Listen, how ironic would that be that he pardons both of them? Both of them.
He could do it.
He can do it.
He could do it.
He's that type of guy who would do something like that. He would do that. Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The daughter, and he would do something like that because he definitely hung out with Diddy. Diddy was a little salty because Diddy's pro-Democrat.
Right.
But Trump was a Democrat.
Trump is a pay for play. He's like, if you can pay what was the guy who gave him $1 million for the pardon?
That was
Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Kodak Black, right?
Yeah.
So he's not above trading favors. And now that he has immunity, man, baby, listen, I got pardons for sale. Let's go. Right? Like, this is official act.
And he's gonna. This is the other thing. If he wins, he can replace he can replace Damien. He can replace.
He can replace who?
He can replace the Southern District of New York.
Oh, he gonna get rid of all of them.
All of them.
That's par for the course.
And they got for the Eastern District of New York, he's also black male.
Yes, and he will get rid of when Trump took office the first time. There was a black United States attorney in the Eastern District, and he got rid of him. Rob Capers. He got rid of him. So what's the U.S. Attorney's office? What's his name in Eastern?
I forgot, but I definitely. Let's see. He ain't pardoning Whitehead. Y'all can forget that. Whitehead. He ain't gonna pardon Whitehead. No. Whitehead get no pardon.
He ain't gonna pardon one. That ain't gonna happen.
Eastern District, New York. I mean, the fact that this is happening under the Biden administration, there are going to be people that are salty behind.
Brian Peace.
Right.
Brian Peace. Brian Peace.
Let
me see. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, I forgot my cameras.
Look at that.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah, I don't need to.
Brian Peace.
Yeah. But there are people that are going to be salty with the.
That's Eastern, guys. That's not Southern. I want to be clear about that. That's not Damian Williams.
Right.
that's in charge of this prosecution. But yeah,
My point is that there are going to be people that are salty because this is happening under the Biden Harris administration, and they're gonna vote based on these.
So when you say people are salty, you mean voters are salty that what he's been charged?
That Adams, the people that support Adams.
Okay, so his supporters are upset that he's been charged, and they think that it is political.
Well, this indictment doesn't show any political there.
Right, but or I mean, listen, think about that. Prosecutions are voluntary. They didn't have to. They didn't have to bring this.
Right. They didn't have
Right?
to.
They didn't
They
have
have
to.
discretion. They have discretion.
They have exactly. And that's my point. So are they? Are you suggesting they're upset because this looks like a political hack job? Do you think they're like, oh, you're only going after him
How many
because?
people they think about all the politicians that travel throughout and got their rooms upgraded. It's happened probably.
It happens a lot.
A
happens
lot.
more. Yes, a lot.
They didn't find him with a bag of money like this the congressman in New York that they found with gold. Was he in New York? They found him with
I think that was Jersey.
Jersey. They found
Is
him
it
with
Melendez?
Yeah, Melendez. Yeah, gold bricks and
bars.
gold bars and everything.
He got convicted though. Didn't he get convicted?
He got convicted.
How much time did he get? I haven't been following.
I
don't know.
He had some time there, but
did he? I mean, let's
Adams was just getting this stuff upgraded. You know, like he was gifted. I don't know. This is not. You know, and I don't see where he got the bag. Well, we don't know if all that money was spent on his campaign. You know, they brought that money in.
That's what there's no allegation. I don't. Did he misuse any campaign funds? I don't see that allegation.
I don't see that either.
That the funds that did come in were misused.
Yeah, I don't see
right.
That. So the matching funds is a problem,
right?
Because that was
Menendez. I said Melendez. Menendez.
Yeah, the matching funds was a problem because I think he gained over $14 million just
right. But what did he do with it? Right. I get that it's ill gained, right? Because he lied about how the money came in. But what did he do with the money? That's not in the indictment. So you amassed millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do with it? Did you buy yourself some personal items? Because I would imagine if that was the allegation, that would have been in the indictment, right? You follow the bank, follow the money, follow the bank transactions, and where you buy in shoes and clothes and real estate, anything like that. I don't see that in the allegations. It doesn't seem like he was doing anything to enrich himself other than being comfortable on a plane. Right. Like, goddamn.
Right. No, and not just the plane, but in the hotel room. And
okay, I want to be comfortable in a hotel too.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I want to be comfortable too. And guess what? You don't pay me enough to be fucking borough president, and so I need to have them give me an upgrade on them. Why is that a crime? I didn't promise them anything in exchange. So I could hear him saying, I responded to the needs of my constituents. They called and our office was responsive. That's what you want from a mayor, do you not?
Yeah, I don't know. This one
it's tough. It's tough. I mean,
it's a tough call there.
It's going to be a tough call, and there might be some jury nullification in there, where the prosecution does make out the allegations, but it's just not fucking worth it. It's not worth the prosecution. Or maybe he can establish that, yes, I did raise all this money, and you know what I did with it? I donated it to, or I gave it to, or I paid for the scholarships of, or
his personal fund. He has a personal. He did
personal coffers. I don't think that the allegation is not that he converted the money from campaign contribution money to personal funds. That's not the allegation. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Where did the money go?
Foundation. He had his own. He had some kind of foundation. So,
but there's nothing in the indictment that tells us that the money was misused. I get that it was. You know what I'm saying? I get that it was illegally raised. I get that part. I get that he shouldn't have received the matching donations. I get that too. I understand that the people of the state of New York, or the people of the city of New York, I should say, were cheated, right, out of that money. But where did it go? Did he put it back into the city? Did it just go to pay his campaign staffers? Where's the fucking money? And why isn't that in the indictment? Because, excuse me, certainly you traced the money by now.
I would think
where
so.
it is.
Right.
So it's weird.
And what's up with this early morning raid in the Gracie Mansion? What would they coming in with stuff? What was that all about?
I mean, I saw that early this morning. I thought that they were going to allow him to surrender himself. That's what I thought, because I still haven't.
Well, they didn't take
I don't know. We've been on here a couple hours. I haven't seen anything that says he's been arrested. Did they arrest him this morning? Because I still haven't seen that. I don't know.
Well, they didn't arrest him at his press conference. That's for sure.
He had a press conference today?
Yeah, he had one this morning.
I was in court. I had court this morning.
Yes, it's in the very beginning of the video.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is
Birkin bags for his intern, maybe. Right, but so if that's where the money went, how come we don't see it? Speaking of lawyers, Oluyemi is going in. Her Breakfast Club drill on him is aging well. Yeah, I saw a little clip of that. The gold bars and jacket pockets in the closet were crazy. Menendez, I think it's Menendez, not Melendez, and that's my fault, Keish. Yeah. I said Melendez first. I think this is nonsense. If there's evidence you committed crime, then you get arrested and prosecuted. Simple. It's not simple. It's really not that simple. You can be prosecuted. That doesn't mean you don't have a defense. That doesn't mean that you don't put the people to their burden so that they have to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. You don't get charged and prosecuted and lay down for the prosecution. That's just not how that works.
Right. You got it. Right. You got to vet the evidence.
Right. You have to look and see exactly what it is and what it means. You know what I mean? It's not. To me, there's more. I have more questions.
Absolutely.
I have more questions. I have so many more questions, and I really would like to know where the money went.
The fact that they were looking at him in 2015. Come on now. We're in 2020, 24. What were you doing?
9 years.
Right. You know, he had a
9 years.
Right. Yeah. They were checking him out. They probably was following.
They let him run for mayor and win. So I don't know if he was being investigated back in 2014, 2015, or this was those things were revealed as a result of this investigation. You know what was happening in 14 and 15.
Yeah.
That all came to light when they started investigating, this particular.
And talking to the staffer, maybe, or find out when he knew the.
I think somebody had to blow the whistle. Someone said something. Someone said something, and that's what got it started. And it may have been the FDNY staff or personnel who didn't, it just didn't sit right with them that they had to write this conditional letter under the threat of being fired.
Now, yeah, and that part is kind of troubling because
that is troubling. It's dangerous,
part, right? You are the mayor of New York City. You are forcing the fire chief and the fire prevention chief, the commissioner, the fire prevention chief, to write a letter. They didn't even write the letter that you wanted. Right. They wrote something that they've never written before.
Right.
Because, so I'm sure that they might have blew a whistle too.
They might have. They may have. So I mean, I think that the challenge may be to connect what they're saying he received in return for some of these acts, because they weren't done around the same time, right? If he did one thing, then a couple months later he'd take a trip and ask for an upgrade here and there, and he didn't always get it. Right. And that's going to be part of it. I didn't even always get it. I reached out to see if they would offer it as a courtesy. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't.
These upgrades were intangible. They were. The upgrades were. Yeah. He was paying. Listen, I got $600. Whatever you want to do, move me to the next room. During the pandemic, I was going to New York getting rooms for like $70. They were $300, $400, $500, $600. Like, this guy was just. How many times you went to the airport and you sitting around and you want to get upgraded at the last
right?
Day?
Listen, I've had just going to the counter and being nice to the counter person and get upgraded.
Right. So
Oh, we're gonna
listen,
put you in first class. You're so
hey,
nice. Oh,
closed
oh,
mouth
thank
never
you.
getting fed. You gotta open your mouth.
Right. And what I'm supposed to say? No, don't want to do that. Someone might think I'm not a public official, but if I were, those are the things that you have to consider when you are a public official, though.
Right.
The same
Yeah.
is true for Fonnie Woodlands. The
Yeah.
same is
Yeah.
absolutely true. The same
Mhm.
standards. So where are the feds and why aren't they indicting her?
Well, how about the other politicians that don't look like us that do this every day? Let's check out Chuck Schumer's his travel. Let's see if he get upgraded. Top senator in New York. Chuck, I ain't trying to throw shots at you, Chuck, but I know you move. You're moving the circles,
When you
Chuck.
show up, they're like, roll out the red carpet for my boy.
Right. Chuck Schumer's a big dog. AOC.
I don't think campaign funds can be used for legal fees, Ronald Bailey.
No, you can't.
I don't think so.
No. Or go
Passionate Libra says, I don't think this will stick. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's tough because the paper, again, the paper trail, your own words, your text messages, your emails. You are aware of these reimbursement schemes. That's problematic.
This is meant for employees, to get them in the room, telling them what to say to the FBI, obstruction of justice. But they weren't checked. They weren't charged with obstruction.
But again, this is not uncommon that they come out with the first indictment and then further down the line there's a superseding indictment. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Well, let's not talk anything up.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens when he goes in and surrenders, and he's got to have. I don't know if he's going to have a detention hearing. If the government's going to move to.
Are they taking his passport? His passport. They're taking his passport.
Definitely, he's going to have to surrender his passport to pretrial services.
Yeah, he's not getting on Turkey.
You won't be going right. You won't be getting upgraded no more. Your upgrade days are
right. You made your connections in Ghana and Istanbul, and I don't know what you got going on in Turkey, but something's in Turkey because you love going to Turkey.
It's just that it's free. I don't really think because he's all like, what can we do here? He's looking for advice on things to do. That's not your place of a choice,
right?
Because when you go on vacation, the spots you want to hit. I want to see this. I want to go see this, and on day number 3, I don't want to do shit. Like where you want to hit.
So what happens to the people that got put in? For example, the person who got put into that position as a lead. You remember the person, the one that got appointed to his administration as a lead, had some type of office. You said was it a paid position?
Oh! What do you mean? What happens? I don't know. That was part of the transition team.
Okay,
right. That was part of the transition team. So I don't know if that's like temporary for him to get up and running into the business of the mayor, and then they dissipate with the team. I don't really know the inner workings of that, but I don't believe that is a permanent position. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
No, we got a tornado.
Yeah, I'm about to get up off of here because I have class tonight. I got to go.
Well, I thank you for coming in. This is definitely educational, as you do. Professor.
I try.
A great reading. I think we made it through.
We made it through 57 pages.
57
oh my God. Was it 3
Woo!
hours and 33 minutes? That's crazy. I know I wasn't here for 3 hours, but 2 is enough.
I did cover you for a while, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you coming in, and I definitely thank my co-host. He always comes and delivers. And let's just see what's the next step in one R. Kelly. And by the way, guys, I was on Court TV last night. Joined in with Head Crack, and it was a great show. And I think I'll be publishing a clip in my YouTube page. And
what was y'all talking about? What case?
Diddy. Well, the new claim by
Talia Graves.
Yeah. I saw I reading body language. Something about that was not. I wasn't. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling the pat.
Listen, when I read the complaint, I was like, "This is some bullshit." First of all, I don't know who wrote this bullshit. It's terribly written. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't. Like there's one part in there before we close this down where she says that she met with Diddy because at the time her boyfriend was a bad boy executive, although she was going through a messy divorce. Okay, so your boyfriend was an executive, and then Puff called her because he wanted to talk about her boyfriend's work, you know, the quality or whatever. Like, what are you, his mother?
Right.
Why is he calling you to talk about
Right.
your man's, like, what
Right.
he was
Right.
late?
Right.
Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Why
Right.
why are you calling me for that?
And
But
then
you know, like
the-
oftentimes people do, they give way to the celebrity status of a figure, and they disregard their own intuition and everything else. They're screaming, don't do that shit.
right. You don't broke code already. You meet with your boyfriend's employer.
Who does that? Who
Yeah.
does that? Why are you doing? And again, I'm not trying to blame the victim.
No,
Right?
we're not
I'm
doing
not
that.
blaming
We're
the
not doing
victim,
that.
but we have to analyze the story. We got to pull it apart, look underneath it, move things around, and if that upsets people, that's too damn bad, because we cannot just accept what people say simply because they said it,
right,
or because they said it while they were crying. That doesn't make it more true,
right,
or believable, or provable in court.
And just because it's on paper, written in a nice complaint, don't mean
not so nice. That complaint was trash. That complaint was trash. It was trash. I was like, who wrote this shit? This is terrible. They should have called Cassie's lawyers and got a real complaint going.
Well, we'll see how that case goes.
Yeah.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate y'all coming in. Thank you, Ike. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. It's your girl Ike. I love you. I really do. Peace out, y'all.
Hey.